it's easier to get really punished for something like using a Justice over a Hermit or something like that.
Or the one that Bean talks about a lot is if you're using the order mod, then when you open a booster pack in Ante 1, anything that would be in there will show up in the future if you don't open it. And so you can wait on that. But without the order, anything, if you don't open the standard pack, you just miss it forever. And so, some of these players coming in off of the ranked rule set with the order, now they're opening those early Arcana packs, early standard packs. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't work out, and then going into Ante 2 at an economic disadvantage and sort of like snowballing disadvantage there. Or, potentially snowballing advantage, depending on how the standard packs go.
First Buffoon pack, a bit of a dud. Sizaak deciding to take the coupon tag skip on Green Stake, saying the early small blind gives no reward money. A free shop might be better expected value than seeing an additional one. And
maybe. I tend to favor having more options. I tend to favor seeing another shop.
Yeah, well, we will see the consequences here.
What's that?
We will see the consequences here because Fur did not take that skip, so we will see.
Yeah.
What
So
out on.
Sizaak here, okay, Shoot the Moon is fine early on. Maybe this Buffoon pack could have been anything, but maybe the stuff that it offers here is not super exciting. Chariot and Justice we're happy to have, but those are not necessarily things that we need right now. We do get a Fool, so we could do, it could be a steel card, could be a glass card, and then use Fool to copy it immediately. Not great targets here for Justice necessarily. You want to hit those face cards, but we can hit a 4 instead.
All right, and it looks like this second shop that Fur sees is full of not very much. There is this Cloud9, which could be useful if on Green Stake we're willing to sell out of this Shoot the Moon to buy it, but it is a bit of a more risky play than usual than if it was on White Stake. Beating 900 chips on the small blind is a little bit more difficult than 800 with no jokers. Alright, so the results of the skip end up being Sizaak favored, just being up $10 to 6 with an extra joker, just because that second shop was a dud for Fur.
Yeah, those free jokers that you get, if you don't like them, you can just sell them, a couple bucks each. Of course, Sizaak gets lucky, I guess, with the Arcana pack having a Fool. And then I guess Tarot cards in the shop ended up being useful, I guess, scoring-wise. You have those glass cards for later, but, what you really want is you want to be snowballing that economy, right? You're looking for, now he has the Devil, he can make some gold cards, he can use Strength and make more Queens if he wants to.
Yep. This is what we're going to see a lot of on Zodiac deck, is how do these players craft and mold their decks. It's going to be a big part of how they win the game. This Shoot the Moon, very useful for the early game scoring, maybe going to matter a lot in the first PvP, but I wonder if that's going to influence some of them to perhaps build into it with Queens with the Strength. I think the Red Seal Ace says otherwise, but
yeah, I guess this is another one of those differences between the ranked rule set versus the vanilla rule set. In the vanilla rules, because you have access to glass cards more easily, then maybe you don't go high card as much, so you don't care about shoot the moon as much. And so maybe we don't care about queens at all. Maybe we just are turning 10s into jacks like we would otherwise. Sizaak is going to go with the queens here. I think is not wrong either.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Sizaak because if they opened that standard pack in the shop, they would have seen the Red Seal Ace, and I think maybe they would have strengthened their Red Seal Ace into 2s. So just having a little bit more information for Sizaak probably would have helped them make a bit of a better decision with that tarot card, but definitely getting the strength on queens is not bad if we're trying to win this first PvP. And of course, having a bunch of one face card is helpful for the entire game.
Yeah. Again, here kind of the difference between single player and multiplayer. In single player, you just barely need to score enough each round. You just need to survive each round. So you spend only as much as you need to spend, and then you're able to save your money and then snowball later. But here in multiplayer, you really want to be opening those early packs. The main thing is you don't want to miss anything. Your opponent finds something that you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I will say I think there's a bit of a misconception with Shoot the Moon though in like building into queens. It's only really the first couple queens that really matter, and then after that you just need steal cards, right? Having
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
a surplus of queens is not going to be super effective for the Joker. The difference between 60 molt and 73 molt just is not big enough to really matter.
No, I really like you hold the queens in hand during the small blind and big blind, and then you can make glass queens that you never have to play. And then in PvP rounds, then you pivot. And so, okay, I know Shoot the Moon doesn't matter. Now I'm playing my glass queens during PvP.
All right, we have Odd Todd with Dusk that Fur missed because they skipped the big blind and there was a spectral pack and it has Deja Vu. This is a very, very punishing investment tag skip.
I think investment tag skip makes sense for Fur, given the position that Fur was in.
Absolutely.
But this is brutal.
Yeah, no, that is so brutal. Oh my goodness. And the Dusk was literally 2 rerolls away. We might have seen that extra interest or better money management. I believe Fur opened extra standard packs than Sizaak, which allowed Sizaak to reroll into the Dusk. Because we do not see that Red Seal Ace on Sizaak's side, but it doesn't matter because we have the Deja Vu on an even better card than an Ace. And that is brutal. And this should be a Sizaak win. That Odd Todd with the Dusk gonna be way too powerful. I mean, Fur has a lot of molt with the Shoot the Moon, but no chips.
If you're Sizaak here, what's your play?
Well,
so you want to draw as many queens as you can, because then you get more molt. But then also, if you don't have odd cards, you don't get any chips, and so it's not actually worth any point. So, you know, how aggressively are we discarding for the queens versus how much are we holding on to these odd cards?
Well, I'd wait a little bit to make that decision, right? I mean, I like the hand that Sizaak just threw out there. I'd throw out a bit of a feeler, and that would give me a lot of information on how much I really need to score in this PvP, and then I can figure out, okay, how greedy can I be here? Can I search through my deck to find the red seal? Should I just use the death on the gold card? But that's something I would need more information to make a solid decision on, whether I need to go maximum scoring or can win with.
For sure, yeah. I guess you're limited on information in the sense that you don't want to play any hands without some queens in hand.
Yes.
And so you want to use your discards first before playing any hands. So you kind of have to decide first.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be discarding maybe not as aggressively until I find like a decent hand, which is I think what Sizaak was doing. They ended up with 3 queens and then 2 odd cards, which is a lot of points. Even with, I mean, 60 chips in this position is very powerful. We're gonna have photographs show up in the shop. That is unfortunate for Fur since they do not have Dusk. Now this, I mean, this Dusk was already going to provide value with the Odd Todd, but now it's providing so much more. Oh, also
we've got Dusk and we have the Red Seal. We have probably going to be using Death here, maybe, on that Red Seal. I also like, maybe using Magician here, making some lucky cards to go with Dusk.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there would not be a problem with just making the Red Seal card lucky. You do want it to be glass eventually, but at this stage in the game, the additional trigger on potentially $20 could be very impactful. And also this allows us to play our Red Seals over and over again without actually risking them breaking. So if we need to use them to clear the blinds, it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah. Like long term, you want glass on the red seal, and then you want to start copying those. Maybe short term, it makes sense to copy the red seal first, and then that way you have one that's playable, and then you have one that you start copying later.
Yeah, it looks like that's what Sizaak's going to go for here. They're considering playing the pair of queens so they don't win. They want to try to find another king to put the magician on as well. I mean, on Zodiac deck, it's always going to be about just the tarot management and how much value you can get out of them. Because these decks will be very fixed by the end of the game if there's any semblance of economy in the seed, which these luckies might be.
I think holding 3 aces is too many for Sizaak here.
I agree.
We only need 1,000 points.
I think we might be a little bit scared. It's okay. So potentially punished. Unsure if we would have drawn the king or not, but I'm sure it won't matter too much because you really only care about the lucky enhancement on the face cards. I suppose since you have Dusk, getting a second trigger on every single lucky card makes the lucky 9 quite relevant as well, but
Parking on Fur's side, with parking you want to hold those face cards in hand, you want to play some throwaway hands to farm money from the parking. Fur not having the chips from Todd and not having sort of this Dusk and what is it, Fortune Teller or whatever. Fur not so confident in the scoring there, playing the Lucky Kings preemptively, getting the +20 and then ending the round. Whereas if you know you have it, then you can save those lucky cards until the very end.
Yep, absolutely. Man, some really good cards in these standard packs. They're the purple seal, the choice between 2 purple seals showing up for Fur. Sizaak's in a bit of a rough economy situation, not any value generation in the Jokers. Only thing that could potentially make money is these luckies and the gold cards. And Sizaak is, if you watch Sizaak, they're quite conservative with their cash. You'll see some players really try to buy every single standard pack because of the chance of seals. They'll buy as many Arcanas as they can justifiably afford, and the vouchers as well. But Sizaak likes to be conservative with the cash. They like to make sure they're getting interest, and it makes sense in this position. No econ generation. If you're not making any money at all, that interest becomes so much more impactful. But the reason I said that is because does he even go in this standard pack and get the purple seal? I don't know.
I think if you have parking, maybe you can rebound a little bit, right? You can get some money in the next round, and so I can spend down a little bit, knowing that I'm going to get the money and then reach that interest cap. Even if I don't reach the interest cap, then I still have the money from the parking, right? And sort of use that to pay for the standard pack, and then have that money to pay for voucher this shop and voucher next shop.
Yeah, absolutely. And the voucher in the shop right now is one of those that is very, very hard to pass on. It's almost game losing if you pass on it. $2 discount on rerolls for the entirety of the game. When you are on these lower stakes, you're going to be rerolling a lot. So very impactful to get that one.
Another potential reason to reroll a little bit more aggressively or spend a little bit more aggressively, whatever value generators will appear, whatever value generators are available, whether it's could be a gold seal, purple seal in a standard pack, could be reserve parking here. You want to find it one round before your opponent. So both players are going to find it, but you want to find it before your opponents. You're generating value one round ahead of time, and then can snowball that advantage.
And Sizaak skips it. The standard pack.
No standard pack for Sizaak.
Yeah, again, I think I like your line, Doc, of I mean, you have the money from the reserve parking, maybe you're probably gonna get up to like around $15, maybe more. Maybe that extra $2 of interest really isn't super impactful overseeing the standard pack. But I maybe part of Sizaak's logic here is I already have a red seal face card, and that is of course the biggest hit you could get from a standard pack in my personal opinion. and so maybe
Sure.
it's a little bit less valuable.
I think purple and gold are still in play.
Oh,
I think those are
absolutely.
still worthwhile. Yeah, I was going to say about the parking, Fur actually obtained it the round before Sizaak did. Again, with that aggressive reroll.
Well, we'll see what this purple seal gives Fur over the course of the game. I will say it is Zodiac deck, so the value of purple seals is going to be diminished a little bit. Of course, they will still be very powerful, but because there is abundance in the shop, it's maybe not going to be as impactful as it would on another deck.
Sizaak finding 2 Red Seal Kings here.
Yeah, and this is interesting because I wonder if the photograph with the Red Seal and Dusk is even going to be outperforming something like a hand of odd cards with Odd Todd. I guess it depends on the lucky proc, but there it is, up to 24 molt with the smiley, and that's really not even outperforming Shoot the Moon that much. So, I mean, it ends up winning the PvP anyway, but I think Sizaak might have scored higher if we played odd cards instead of the face cards there.
Yeah, it's just like you said, I think Sizaak a little bit undecided. Hold the ace or toss the ace. Maybe if we toss the ace, we get a better hand with the kings, and then maybe could even be full house kings and queens holding the steel card instead of just the 3 of a kind.
Absolutely. I think Sizaak was just incentivized to... okay, are we going to take the gold seal here? Gold seals notably are a lot more powerful with vanilla Chad. I mean, $9 every time you draw it if you have the Chad, and even without, I mean, $3 every time you draw a card kind of pays for its slot in the deck, I would argue, a lot of the time.
We don't have Chad yet, but it being a common joker, it can come up somewhat reasonably. I think with Sizaak on Kings, Red Seal Kings, maybe then the 10 is not going to make it. Very often we do Jacks because if you get a Strength card and you need to make more face cards, you have jokers that care about face cards like parking, then turning those 10s into Jacks is how you get those face cards. And, if we're not on Jacks, then that 10 is going to have a lot of work to do to reach the Kings if we're doing Kings.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I guess when I see the gold seal, I'm not even thinking about like turning it into a card that I'm playing for my build. I'm just thinking, okay, so every time I draw that, I'm making a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it's relative to how much other money you're making.
Yep.
So if you've got parking, you've got 1 purple seal is not a lot of purple seals. We have a couple lucky cards is not a lot of lucky cards. So maybe in that context, maybe the gold seal makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I think that another thing to consider is the reserve parking makes the gold seal not just worse by we're making some more money, but by the fact that if we're going to be playing around this reserve parking, we're going to draw less cards in our deck, which means we're going to draw the gold seal less often. This is why reserve parking is one of my least favorite economy jokers, because it kind of forces you to give it your full attention. I mean, like here, Sizaak forced to do a 3-card discard. I think they're going to win here anyway with the 2 steel queens and the red seal king as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big reserve parking non-believer, I guess.
Parking hater. Well, I mean, on the first side, we've got Pareidolia. Every card is a face card, so maybe it doesn't matter. We draw the hand that we need, and then we can get a lot of parking value.
Yeah, well, even
then,
like
here, a little bit awkward, scoring potentially too many points with that Shoot the Moon, giving us so much volt. And in contrast to during the last PvP, playing the hands before even drawing the face cards. So not getting the parking money, not getting the molt from the Shoot the Moon on those first couple hands, relying entirely on Dusk. I think Fur had a very good shot to actually outscore Sizaak there, but then messed up their own draw in a different way.
Yeah. And getting out of Odd Todd to me indicates we're going for a higher chip hand here, which does make sense when you have Dusk Photo and those Red Seal Kings. I mean, best way to get more value out of your photo, just get more base molt. Get a higher value hand. And we have the strength in the inventory. 8-Ball picked up as well. That is a Joker we have seen quite a lot of this season.
For sure. Yeah, so Sizaak now, the only scoring that we have is that Dusk and that photo. We know we can rely on that Red Seal. We can rely on potentially Lucky Faces. We can take all of these value generator slots now. We've got 8-Ball, we've got Parking, we've got Drunkard. And potentially any of those could be replaced if we found something even more aggressive, if we found like a golden ticket, for example.
100%. Yeah, I mean, this is what we see. It's a very common pattern in multiplayer Balatro. It's just, you fill your Jokers with the scoring you need to win the first PvP. After you get enough value in your deck and enough scoring in your deck, you want to like replace your Joker slots with your deck, if that makes sense. Like here, Sizaak has replaced his scoring Jokers. Sizaak has replaced his scoring Jokers with his deck. We have Photograph and Dusk. That is our entire scoring lineup. And then the rest is carried on the back of our Red Seal Kings and Steel cards and just our very well fixed deck because of Zodiac, and it allows us to run the Drunkard, Reserve Parking, and 8-Ball.
Yeah, and by selling out of that Shoot the Moon, now only the final hand scores. And so we can play all those hands, get all that parking value on Sizaak's side. On Fur's side, much more awkward, okay? We are playing on green stake, so it has those higher scoring requirements compared to white stake. It's not crazy high, but it is enough higher. And so you've got the Arrowhead, which is sort of incentivizing you to play more cards at a time, play more spades. At the same time, Shoot the Moon is encouraging you to hold more cards in hand, hold those queens, not even necessarily spade queens in hand. And so this very delicate dance between how many do we play, how many do we hold, while at the same time trying to get those purple seals. The parking, you said, okay, one thing that's awkward about parking, you draw your face cards, you hold your face cards, now you're not drawing your purple seals for either player.
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing with mail and rebate here if we take it along with the reserve parking. I think that if we decide to keep the reserve parking because we have Pareidolia, it would be a mistake. And that is what we end up doing. Because if you run a very good argument in favor of reserve parking isn't just that, oh my gosh, it's $5 every time you discard it. It's this Joker allows me to search in my deck and find what I need to find while still generating the value out of it. All right, and mail and rebate showing up for Sizaak. I'd like to see what we're gonna get rid of. I mean, I typically when I run into
you already know.
Yeah, when I run into a mail and rebate, when reserve parking's on the lineup, those two Jokers do not synergize. You need to look deep in your deck and find your mail and rebate cards. So it's personally gonna be parking gone for me here. Sizaak considering getting out of the 8-Ball here. Only re-triggers that we have is the Dusk, so it is admittedly quite weak right now.
He's a believer. He's going in on the 8-Ball.
All right, now Fool showing up for Sizaak. I'm very interested if we're going to Fool the Hangman or the Justice here. I mean, with a 2-life lead, I'd almost really like the Fool Hangman. But the Justice is just so powerful. Especially with the Dusk, you don't even have to put the glass on your red seals right now. You could just put the glass on random kings and then play them in PvP. With the Dusk, you're only going to miss out on one instance of 2 times molt by not using them on a red seal, and you don't risk them breaking.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you were talking about earlier. You know, okay, we had the early death with the red seal, and, you know, you could wait to turn the red seal into glass before you copy it, or just copy it right away. And then now that we have the Justice cards, we can apply Justice after the fact, if we want.
Mm-hmm.
But we may not have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a bunch of lines we could take. I think if I had to predict here, I think what Sizaak is probably going to do is going to go Justice on one of the red seals, Fool, and Justice on another king. That way, I mean, really trying to make sure we win that PvP, and also ensuring that if the red seal breaks, we still have another one in the deck. But also it comes with the advantage of, okay, now I have a red seal glass card for the future PvPs, and that if I find a death, I will have the best possible death target.
Fur was able to get a world, was able to make more spades. Okay, that plays into our arrowhead, which is fine, I think, but you know, obviously not going to be able to compete with Dusk. Also putting us in a direction where now we have more spades as opposed to having hearts. There's always the chance that Bloodstone is going to show up later.
Selling out of reserve parking because there's a Midas Mask in the shop with Pareidolia. Again,
Pareidolia Midas Mask.
This is
Fur,
one of those combos.
Despite being behind, I would say, on the deck construction here, you know, with the red seals and you know, now Sizaak has access to the glass cards. Fur is well set up here economically.
All right, selling out of the Pareidolia for the Midas Mask, and some people might look at that and be like, "Wow, that's really confusing. Why would Fur do that?" I'm not gonna lie, Midas Mask Pareidolia feels like one of those combos to me that looks like it does a whole lot and doesn't really do much at all. There's only so many gold cards you can hold in your hand, and turning the entire deck gold versus like 30% of it gold. I mean, at some point it kind of becomes like win more for an extra Joker slot.
For sure, hack for Fur here.
That's pretty good.
Maybe the one consideration for holding Pareidolia is, you know, maybe Shoot the Moon is a Joker that we don't need that much. Maybe even this Wrathful Joker is a Joker that we might not need that much. So, okay, we've got slots. But then also, you know, like you said, if we can turn every card into gold, then potentially there's like golden ticket lines that are possible. Potentially this hack line is possible if we still had that Pareidolia.
Yeah, keep in mind, Fur does have this Red Seal Ace. So with the hack, they do have the same amount of re-triggers on a specific card as Sizaak would. They just don't quite have the deck fixing there yet. I'm not sure if... unless they have glassed it and strengthed it. But if they have, I haven't seen it. Alright. Here's the Justice onto the Red Seal for Sizaak. Sun card as well. If Sizaak so desires, we might be playing a flush 5 in this PvP. I mean, I do not really think it's very likely that Fur is going to take this this PvP unless Sizaak gets a very bad draw and Fur has that red seal glass too, and even then Fur is not getting the photograph procs like Sizaak is. Well, I guess you can go Flush House, but with what suit changer? So it's looking pretty doomed for Fur.
Also sacrificing now the lucky cards to make the gold cards. It is probably better in the long term to make the gold cards, but it does hurt a little bit in the short term.
Yeah, well, it's like how much runway do we have left? I mean, if Fur is gonna drop down to 1 life here, it's looking like we needed that short term. But I mean, what else were you supposed to do? Sell Midas Mask? That doesn't feel right either.
I don't think sell it. Well, maybe just be a little bit more careful about which cards we're turning into gold. And so, you know, maybe keep the luckies, maybe keep the steel, for example.
I see. That makes sense. Alright, we have a flush 5 here. I feel like Fur is... I mean, this is Fur's best hand, and they don't know whether they're going to win or not here. Okay, well, Sizaak is going to play their hand, and it's going to give Fur maximum information, so Fur is going to be able to look at that and know they can't win. Will they decide to overwrite their luckies and steal here?
Red glass for Sizaak, no breaks.
It is only a 1 in 4. I feel like people are... I feel like if you're playing Balatro multiplayer, you can't get too in your head about glass, I feel. Yes, it can break, but maybe even if it does break, you're okay with that. Maybe taking the life is more important than... Like if that glass had 100% chance to break, there's a lot of times where you just play the glass anyway, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, it depends on whether or not you have a backup. If it's your last red glass, maybe you don't do it. Maybe I wouldn't do it. Maybe, you know, I'm okay losing a life there.
Mm-hmm.
Though I guess if you... The reason why you don't want it to break is so that you don't lose a life in the future. But if you're losing a life now, that's the same as losing a life in the future. But, you know, again, going back to this very early game decision, using that death card to copy the red seals, even if the glass card breaks the red seal glass card, we have backup. Not another red glass in the deck, but another red seal that we can grow into whatever glass card we need.
All right, red seal 8 in a pack. Sizaak is going to take it. I don't think it's for the 8-ball, even though it is very funny. You know, you might just think you need the 1 red seal. Well, what about red seal steal? If you find a chariot, you can just put that on that 8.
No way, man.
If you draw it, it's chilling.
We've got too many cards in deck to think about steal cards. You need to be discarding 5 at a time.
Well, yeah. Just in PvPs, you could draw it after, or also it's like, I guess you could argue. Because I was going to say in the future, you're going to be, once your deck is thinner because of Zodiac deck, you're going to be happy that you have that. But I suppose in the future, you're also going to have a lot more of those red seal face cards. So maybe you can turn some of those into steel as well.
8-ball turns out a temperance for Sizaak here into death from the purple seal.
Alright, Sizaak gets a death from 8-ball, I'm pretty sure. Gonna save that one for the red seal glass. Try to end things in this very next PvP.
For finally leaving that shop, $80 deeper than Sizaak.
Yeah, I mean the Midas mask and the comeback money. I guess there was no Midas mask value generated.
We haven't had the payoff from the Midas mask yet, but it's coming up.
All right, is Sizaak discarding the glass here? Okay, we
for
discarded
sure.
the glass red seal. Okay, so what is the death target then? I wonder for Sizaak.
Oh, yeah. At this point, especially with your opponent on 1, what are we targeting?
I'm not sure. Could be the red seal lucky card. Maybe Sizaak saying that they want a little bit more value. They'll find more justice cards to overwrite it later. I'm not sure.
On first side here, again seeing this awkwardness. Shoot the moon, queens held in hand, gold cards held in hand. We get the money from the gold cards, but we are only getting through a quarter of our deck. We are not seeing those purple seals.
It's his death's the lucky card.
I guess when you're up on lives, you could also make the argument that by leaning into the value generation, by copying the lucky card instead of the glass card, then we have lives to lose. So even if we're behind in the short term, then we get the money that allows us to get out ahead of our opponent in terms of shopping.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those. This is why early game tempo can be super impactful if it doesn't super negatively affect your long-term prospects here. I mean, Sizaak being up 4 lives to 1 just lets so many lines be open available. Let's say maybe Sizaak thinks his odds of winning this PvP are maybe 60-40 or 70-30. Well, every single PvP that we spend generating value and Fur spends playing glass, your odds probably go up every single time, until maybe it's 1 life to 1 life, but you have flush 5 red seal glass and your opponent has been forced to break a lot of them every single time. Yeah, another thing I guess I forgot to point out. Fur did find this Red Seal 5 in the same pack that Sizaak took the Red Seal 8. And that is very big because of the hack. I don't think we've gotten the strength on the ace yet, so so now we don't require another tarot card or another, once we have the strength, we don't have to draw the ace either to get that train online. So as soon as we find something that would usurp this photograph, if this seed turns absolutely crazy in the very next shop, if we get Blueprint Brainstorm Idol or something crazy like that, then maybe this photograph won't matter. But
well, I mean, that's the benefit of playing. Could be a full house or it could be a flush house. You only need the 2 face cards. You only need the 1 face card for the photograph, and then you can do the rest. It could be these Red Seal 5s with glass cards. I don't think Fur is going to get there in time, but this is a possible line that you can take.
If Fur passing up on Trio at 1 life, I feel like maybe we could have sold out of the Midas Mask for it, but I mean, at 1 life, we're a little bit desperate. Chariot. Well, there's a golden ticket. I mean, if Fur had just a little bit more time, that would be phenomenal, but this is the final shop we will see before this next PvP, and he needs to make something happen right now.
Sizaak Flush 5 already unlocked, now level 3.
Leveling up 5 of a kind as well, just for some insurance. If we miss our draw, the deck is not super thin. Only been a few hangmans. There's a brainstorm. Okay, hold on. How many rerolls ahead is Fur here?
Okay, and we've got death upstairs. All we need is justice. All we need is a glass hackable card. Not quite there yet, but almost.
We have purple seals in the deck. Purple seals work miracles.
We really want to see Fur get out of this shoot the moon.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a trio could have been the last thing we needed here, but we do have Death Fool, but the problem is we don't really have a card in the deck that is super good to Death Fool. We need to make that really good card. We need Justice. We need something. Even the Chariot I would have taken, because it's some sort of re-triggered X-Molt.
Fur knows we're cooked. Using Fool there for money instead of holding the Fool for the death card, because we don't have the card that we need to copy yet. We need that money. We need to re-roll into something.
100%.
We do have a glass 10. It is not hackable.
Yeah, but that glass 10 has a purple seal on it, which could be a Justice card.
Okay, maybe. Okay. Ace finally making it into a 2, like you mentioned. We draw the purple. Okay, we need Justice, and then we're good.
It's a Fool for death. Okay, you can death the purple.
Okay, yeah.
Death the purple, but
that gives us another chance.
Well, but then you would have to like use the Fool as well, which is I think that's probably still worth it, right? I mean, you find a single glass card, maybe that's enough, or do you need two? I mean, it's really impossible for Fur to know. They don't know what Sizaak's working with over here. I think we're gonna need. I mean, with the brainstorm, maybe one is enough. No, probably not. So that hack is only representing 1-2x worth of score. I suppose a little bit more with the arrowhead as well. And the photograph is doing more than that.
If I'm Sizaak, there's no way the Steel Queen matters.
I mean, it really depends on the deck fixing for me here. If we know we're super likely to draw another King of Hearts, then maybe I'm willing to hold on to it.
It's not about the king, it's about the purple seals, it's about the 8s for the 8 ball, it's about the aces for the rebate.
Yeah, that does make sense. I mean, with the glass, the score fluctuates like so rapidly. Maybe a 1.5x is not very likely to actually win you the PvP, but if the difference was a 1.5x, it would be crazy. But yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even if it is the difference, even if that's what cost you the round, you still got 3 lives.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, I think I would definitely 100% agree with you if Sizaak didn't already have all their glass in the hand, because the glass is way more valuable for the scoring in this PvP.
Well, I mean, that's even more why you discard the Steel Queen, because you already have the glass cards.
Oh, so you're saying you're gonna win with the glass anyway, so who is the Steel?
Yeah. And if the glass is not enough to win, then you're cooked anyway.
Yeah,
like, the Steel is not going to decide your fate.
I think the reason that Sizaak's doing this is because, I mean, it's much more common in the ranked format that Sizaak plays a lot of for the difference to be 1.5x. It happens. Sure. It happens a lot, especially against the caliber of players that you see. I mean, just so many phenomenal players that Sizaak fights every day, and since they're often on the same lines, the difference can be a Steel card. I mean, during the Bean 100, the Bean 10K tournament, there was a round that was decided by a a standard pack right before PvP with a Steel 4, and one of the players just was like, you know what, I'm taking the Steel 4 for some variance, and they drew it and won the PvP. So I think that's probably why Sizaak's taking this line, but absolutely it loses quite a bit of value with the 8 ball and mail and rebate on aces. But yeah, that's gonna be a 4-0 for Sizaak for game 1. I mean, really just unfortunate investment tag skip, honestly. I mean, Dusk and then Red Seal face card just not really allowing Fur to be competitive for a lot of this game.
Obviously, that was part of it, with the Sizaak picking up a lot of technology in that skip, or the round that Fur skipped, and then also Sizaak took the coupon tag that Fur didn't take, and not only did Sizaak not miss anything, but Sizaak also gained a lot there. So Sizaak gained. It was Justice in that shop. That he was able to take for free. It was also the Arcana pack had Fool for another Justice card that he was able to take, and so that was the difference here. So the reason why Dusk matters at all is because we have access to all those glass cards.
Well, I mean, and the market value to be making those kind of decisions. All right.
I think we might be going black deck gold stake here.
Oh goodness. I do not know who picked what, but my guess is Sizaak went gold stake after Fur said black, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think maybe.
Oh, really? Okay, Fur went black is what they're saying in my chat.
Okay, yeah. Fur went black, and I know Sizaak likes gold stake.
Yep. Alright, flush coming through from Sizaak here. And you know, this is the combo from hell, but okay, well, there's a Riffraff in the first Buffoon pack. That is going to ease things up quite a bit with a foil delayed gratification and a blue Joker here. Immediate straight draw.
Sensible flush from both players in the first round, so we're in exactly the same position here.
Yep. I mean,
and then we get the one shot, we get the delayed gratification money.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, like, this is the combo from hell, but a lot of multiplayer players actually play this combo, like, a lot.
I mean, if you're gonna play gold stake,
yeah,
might as well be black deck. If you're gonna play black deck, might as well be gold stake.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's why Sizaak is comfortable throwing out the gold stake gauntlet after Fur puts down the black deck. They might also just be doing it for the memes.
Fur trying to decide here, use Hermit or save Hermit. Sizaak choosing to save the Hermit. Okay, so after this round here, Sizaak gets whatever amount of money and then can use Hermit after. Because Fur used the Hermit, they were able to get this Arcana pack, they were able to get Emperor, now they have a Fool that they're holding on to.
Alright, Sizaak deciding to go for the Faceless discard over the delayed gratification money, saying that I want to see deeper into my deck, find maybe the Gold Seal. It's also giving me $5 compared to $4. The counter argument might be, okay, well, you can play those face cards for business card, but
well, it's $1 per face card if you're playing it for business card.
Yeah, it's not very
Whereas
much.
if you discard them, you get $5.
Yeah, but you get to keep your delayed gratification. But then you don't look in your deck as far, so you don't find the gold card or the gold seal. Maybe. Alright, also, man, unfortunate that we're playing the club right now, debuffing that king. We can't actually get that final discard off for $5 more for Faceless.
Alright, Sizaak, now $25, Hermit, $45 from holding it.
That Hermit, great concept, great idea to hold on to that Hermit when we have the Econ Jokers from Riffraff up top. I mean, Riffraff is such a broken Joker, genuinely, it's so powerful.
Fur used the Fool right away, and then now has 2 gold face cards.
Could be
so we don't have that initial boost from the Hermit, but we do have the gold cards in the deck for later.
Yep, absolutely. I think I definitely like the Hermit better, especially on black deck, just because -1 hand means, and the -1 discard from the higher stakes means you're going to draw those gold cards a lot less often.
Well, with the Hermit, okay, if we don't use the Hermit, then we don't get to open the first Arcana pack. For here, because they use the Hermit, they did have access to that Arcana pack. And so maybe it's worth it to use the early Hermit for only $12, because then we get to look at more packs. Fur here, only behind actually maybe $15, maybe only $12 difference here, but has those gold cards in the deck that Sizaak doesn't.
Absolutely. Campfire here seems like a phenomenal pickup with this Riffraff. That is a wombo combo right there. Unfortunately, for both of these players, it is going to be perishable. Okay, Sizaak remembers the 6 Joker slot. Does Fur remember the 6 Joker slot?
Yeah, Fur's thinking about making room for Riffraff now, so we're on 5 Jokers, going down to 4.
That makes sense.
Fur selling out of the value generators. So on Sizaak's side, we've still got business card, maybe goes. We've got Faceless Joker. We've got delayed gratification. Maybe there's some tension between those two. Maybe one of those goes. Maybe we keep the foil with the banana. It helps us survive. You know, we are playing on gold stake here. But Sizaak deciding to sell out of the foil gratification. We've got Faceless Joker, but now we have Scary Face to contend with.
Yeah, Scary and Smiley here. I mean, that's a combo. That's a combo right there, especially on the higher stakes. But yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to utilize that in perhaps the PvP when we want the faceless value. But for now, we don't have to worry about it because we have Gross Michelle.
You mean Grow Michelle?
Grow Michelle. I never say their name right.
That's okay, no one else does.
Grow Michelle is crying in the corner right now.
Sizaak coming out solidly ahead here. Able to hold on to that Faces Joker, able to get the $10 from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just playing...
able to reroll a little bit, pick up that banana.
Playing the econ game very well here.
Notably, Sizaak did not reroll more than twice in the first shot. Did not spend more than that. So, you know, obviously you want to have above $25 to have maxed out interest. And then if you've got Faces Joker, gives you at least $5, you can maybe roll down to 20. But if you're rolling down more and more, then the increasing reroll cost. So the first one's $5, then it's $6, then it keeps going up after that. And so you don't always want to spend all your money in one shop. The amount of money that you get each round is inconsistent potentially, and so it makes sense to reroll just a few times. And even though we have money, we could reroll more. It's better to save that money to reroll in the next shop instead. We're seeing from Sizaak here.
All right, and one of the reasons Campfire is just so good on these higher stakes is because rentals exist, and that is a positive. We see this a lot on higher stakes where the stickers can actually be a benefit instead of a downside, like Madness with Eternals and Campfire with Rentals, $1 to buy, $1 to sell. And for buying a 2-pair level, maybe they just feel the need to get some chips. I mean, 2-pair has surprisingly decent chip scaling. I mean, you just get one of those levels, it's the same amount of chips as a full house, so I feel like maybe a bit unnecessary when we have the scary face, but now we don't need to rely on drawing face cards. Looks like Sizaak took that exact same 2-pair level, by the way.
Yeah, so Sizaak choosing to stick with the banana here, selling out of the smiley face, scary face combination. Choosing to stick with the perishable because we know the riffraff can give us more jokers. You know, of course, we're trying to get those high rolls. We're trying to roll into those value generators like Faceless Joker. We're trying to roll into Photograph and Chad. But I don't mind being in first position here.
Yeah, it's certainly not too terrible of a position, especially to win this first PvP Smiley Scary with a 3.75x Campfire is not bad at all. I wonder if Fur's going to take this voucher now that you've seen a Red Seal face card in that pack. Maybe it's a little bit more valuable. The tarot card's just going to put in more work now that you have a seal to work around. I mean, Fur really spending to make sure this Campfire is online.
All right, out of the banana into Onyx Agate for Sizaak here.
I mean, Onyx Agate is one of the most powerful jokers you can possibly bring to the first PvP. Right up there with,
for sure,
like, I think people sleep on Stuntman for first PvP, absolutely, even on White Stake. But it's I mean, if Sizaak can put up a decent club flush here, they will be doing phenomenally. Finds another delayed gratifications.
Yeah, delayed gratification for both players. I think the extra Mad Joker that Sizaak picked up here maybe doesn't matter that much. Sizaak does take the voucher, so Sizaak's got the extra tarot cards. Fur does not. but Fur decides to hold on to the rental Cartomancer instead of selling it off like Sizaak sold it off right away.
I mean, this makes sense because we're going to be able to get that tarot card, and then we can just sell out of it if we so desire. I mean, we can even utilize the holographic in this PvP, and it's not going to cost us anything as long as we remember to sell. The only thing it's really going to cost us is the riffraff value, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, Sizaak's made this comment before about the rentals. It's got to be a really good rental in order to be worth holding on to, because the rentals are so expensive. But when you have access to as much money as we have, Sizaak has access to Faceless Record. We have riffraff generating value, not strictly money, but generating value. Maybe we can afford the rental. Maybe we can afford the Cartomancer, especially with tarot cards in the shop being as rare as they are. Maybe it's worth paying that $3 per round to just get one tarot card every round, which you can sell for $1 every round, right? You can always refund it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's similar to what we were talking about before with value generation scaling with like how much money you're already making. Maybe the interest doesn't really matter as much if we're already making $30 a round with some sort of business card oops all sixes action. In the same way, maybe minus $3 a round proportionally doesn't matter as much if we're making a lot of money with the Faceless right now.
All right, Royal Flush for Sizaak here. We got the 5 clubs Royal Flush. That's the best-ish, I guess, other than the Flush House that you can get with the Onyx Agate here. Not enough. Actually,
wow.
Fur scores more using the Smiley Face, Scary Face combination. Sizaak sold out of it to keep that banana.
Notably, the difference was so small that if Fur did not hold on to this holographic Cartomancer, they do not win that blind. Even another Campfire cell wins that blind.
Well, I mean, you just sell the Cartomancer. That counts as a sell, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bought and sold the Cartomancer here. Fur held on to the Cartomancer, blocking Riffraff from giving you another Joker, which you then could sell. Fur sold less than Sizaak here, but got more score because of this combination Scary Face, Smiley Face.
Yeah. Photographs showing up in the shop. Looks like both players do have that Red Seal face card in the deck, W overlay.
I'm seeing photograph for Sizaak here. Did Sizaak reroll once? Is that why?
Looks like we are 2 rerolls deep.
Fur didn't reroll, so it will be photograph for Fur as well.
Yep. And yeah, it looks like Fur deciding this Cartomancer is going to be coming along for the ride here.
Not 100% sure about it. I saw Fur mouse over it a couple times.
I mean, with the Campfire, it's I mean, technically, it's only costing you $2 a round because you can sell the consumable. Maybe a little bit more if it breaks an interest cap, but we do see 6 cents on Sizaak's side. Could be very impactful. Sigil, nothing too crazy to write home about, but there are all kinds of juicy hits that Sizaak could find. I mean, a second Deja Vu on a face card, a club face card could be huge. It is black deck, the draws are inconsistent. Adding a second potential face card draw could do wonders. Maybe even...
Alright, that's going to be no more Cartomancer for Fur here. Sizaak is like $40 extra spent over Fur, so was able to reroll twice. 2 rerolls, that's only $11 difference. So Sizaak spending more in the previous ante, but not necessarily getting a lot from that. Fur has these gold cards that Sizaak doesn't have because Fur opened that first Arcana pack by using the Hermit.
Mm-hmm. Sizaak is a little bit locked up in the Joker slots here. We might be getting out of Riffraff soon. That Faceless doing a lot for our scoring. Oh my gosh, we just hit the high roll. On the
Sigil for clubs,
sigil?
compatible with the Onyx Agate. It is perishable, but you know it'll last long enough. We get the Flush House.
Yeah, the mega high roll from Sizaak. Into Idle Bean. Now that is interesting. Idle notably weaker on Gold Stake, pretty significantly, but still powerful enough to maybe just hold on to and see what happens. And then Rental Bean as well could be a big value generator with the Faceless especially, and Sixth Sense just allowing us to draw those Spectrals more often.
I think opening the Celestial packs is a bit of a fumble from Fur here. We have the smiley face, we have the scary face. You know, the hands that we want to play, we haven't unlocked them yet. And so, you know, we don't need to be opening those early Celestial packs. We want to be re-rolling for more value-generating Jokers, or re-rolling for more Tarot cards.
Alright, Sizaak taking the Idol, passing up on the Bean. This Faceless and Sixth Sense combo is a little bit dubious here. It's gonna, especially on this deck and state combination, it's gonna, you have to discard until you find the 6, and not every single one of those discards is gonna have 3 face cards in it. Yeah, Sizaak not even gonna discard the 3 face cards because we value those queens for scoring.
Losing the Faceless Joker value, and at the same time not drawing the 6.
Yeah. Which makes me think that probably this Faceless is the next Joker to go, but then you got to start asking questions about, okay, what is our economy plan here? Fur is going to run into this Bean, and this Bean is going to be great because, again, we have those extra gold cards from the beginning of the game.
Fur might not make it that far in the shop.
Alright, there's Sixth Sense.
Both players holding the Fool. Sizaak's looking at, we've got Justice in the shop.
Could be a play.
Considering, okay, do we put it on clubs here, or do we put it on a face card like the Jack of Spades?
I think it makes sense for Sizaak here to just throw that on a club.
Yeah. We've got 2 queens for Fur. So we can go Glass Queen. And then that gives us the Fool, has Justice loaded up for that Red Seal Jack in the deck. Sizaak already gets the Red Seal Jack by opening the second Arcana pack.
And Fur misses. Might be considering making a purple glass. I know you're a big fan of that. Oh, and Sizaak maybe thinking the Chariot on the Red Seal is going to be more valuable.
I could not.
Interesting.
Well, I guess if you make it into glass, are you playing it in the next PvP? You know, the Red Seal with the photograph. Maybe then you choose not to play it.
Yeah, maybe, but also, were you ever going to play it in the PvP in the first place? I mean, a lot of our scoring
there it is. He could play it here with the photograph. If we've got Justice upstairs, we can save Justice until the next round. So like this round, you could use the steel card and then immediately in the next round turn it into glass if you wanted to.
Yeah, but maybe
and then that way your Red Seal doesn't die.
Yeah, but maybe the Flush Houses with the Flush House of Clubs is going to be more powerful than getting the additional 2x on the photo.
Yeah, maybe you're not playing it anyway. Maybe you don't worry about the Red Seal for now, since Idle's on Spades or Ace of Spades anyway.
Yeah, and there's the Ace of Spades getting discarded, so definitely not going to play into it. Also, notably, Fur not finding this Idol would be a tragedy on White Stake. Not as big of a deal, but it could be on Gold.
Not a deal breaker. But Sizaak finding the Idol while also already having the Tarot Merchant voucher. You know, one of the drawbacks of taking the Tarot Merchant, we get the Cryptid from the
Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I think Sizaak maybe regrets having this be a cherry instead of glass, but we will see. I think being able to hold on to 3 red seal steel in this PvP though, I mean, use the cryptid for the extra hand size, drop the flush with a glass face card in it. This is going to be a powerful hand, especially if we get a lucky hit. And for loading up glass into the hand.
Red seal glass for fur here.
I mean, I don't think this is gonna win for fur here. Calculating that the red seal glass in the back is going to be better than in the front despite the photograph, I think that is probably correct. I'm not 100% sure there. You lose out on 2x, but you get 20 molt before the glass starts triggering. I think it's better in the back. But yeah, okay, maybe the steel was better than the glass because Sizaak gets to win this PvP without risking any glass at all, and they also just get 3 red seal steel in the deck.
No, glass is better. When you got cryptic, glass is better. Even if you break them, you got extras.
Yeah, I definitely would prefer glass. I'm a big fan of steel manning alternate positions, you know. All right. And how much did we win that by? It was like the 4 instances of 1.5 was like 5x. I think. Yeah, it's really close who wins that without the extra red seal steel. It's really, really close without it, but
yeah, I think there's some consideration you don't use cryptid right away.
Mm-hmm.
You actually just save cryptid until you make that red glass.
I think one of the reasons we didn't save and wait is just because I think Sizaak. I mean, this Onyx Agate is going to be out of gas pretty soon, and we need an alternate scoring plan to beat these scaling gold stake blinds. So maybe we're going to start playing into 5 of a kind kings with the photograph and the red seal, and then maybe some steel in hand, and that's potentially going to get the job done. Not putting the strength on the queens there, so maybe that's not the plan.
We've got jacks. The kings don't, or the queens don't matter that much.
There's a Chad in the shop. Suddenly, the scoring problems aren't really there anymore, and this idol, if it gets a really good hit, is going to be unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, that's Chad for both players, with the difference being Fur is the one with the red glass right now.
It's true. Yeah, it's very good for Fur that it didn't break. Of course, it is unlikely that it would. It's only a 1 in 4. Deja Vu showing up in the 6th sense here. Remember, that 6th sense Q is anti-based, which means that the cryptid Sizaak saw will not be seen by Fur. Maybe another cryptid comes, but it's not going to be the same one. Yeah, another thing, this Chad is rental, but it's going to be profiting us money because of the gold seal in the deck. So it more than earns its spot in the lineup. I mean, even if we didn't have a gold seal, we're taking this Chad for photo anyway.
We're considering red seal on the gold card.
Alright, looks like that's the plan.
Worth a few extra bucks in the short term. You know, maybe even that gives you a red seal that's playable with the photograph without having to risk the glass one.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just have like really bad eyesight or something. I thought that Sizaak was playing red sealed kings instead of jacks this whole time. So that's why I wanted to strengthen the kings. But yeah, of course. Of course, we have red seal jacks. That makes sense. Business card showing up in first shop, by the way.
Bird gets rewarded for making that red seal king. I mean, it's a lucky draw here, but we have death. We can make another red seal king. More kings that we can play without having to risk them.
And Sizaak gonna overwrite one of these steel cards with lucky. I like that play. It makes sense to me. We have the Chad as well. Any potential lucky hit could be super impactful, especially since we know we're going to be playing one of these red seals anyway. With photograph, yeah, it isn't glass, but lucky isn't so bad either.
All right, assuming this overlay is working correctly, it looks like you know, relatively even this ante as far as rerolls. The main difference here, of course, Sizaak has idle. Fur doesn't idle if it hits a face card. We've got the Chad to retrigger is kind of scary for Fur. But otherwise, if you showed me both decks and you asked which one I would prefer to have Fur's deck.
Yeah, I would prefer to have Fur's deck, but I would prefer to have Sizaak's Joker lineup. I mean, this idle is looking like it could be very impactful this game.
Well, with the idle being the one difference.
Yeah.
I mean, Fur's got the business card to go with the Chad. I think maybe I prefer that over having Faceless Joker.
Yeah, well, it's only one reroll away, and Sizaak has another shop to go after this one.
Yeah, he's got to decide whether or not he wants this hallucination tarot card generator. We already have that tarot voucher.
Mm-hmm. Very convenient that it's a rental here because we're gonna buy it for $1 and then sell it for $1 after.
Yeah. Death here inside the Arcana pack, but no good targets.
There is the blue seal.
Emperor first in case we get Justice. We don't, but there's a chance.
And we're gonna Death the King. Are we planning on skipping for this King of Clubs idle hit? That's a risky play, but could pay off absolutely.
No, he doesn't skip. On 3 lives, you don't skip that.
All right. And Sizaak's going to play the blind here. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, having more time to fix the deck, always good. I mean, if a glass card, we know a glass card does the exact same thing as idle, so the more time Sizaak has to do that, the better. Just a small mistake I see Sizaak making a little bit here. I mean, we sold a Sun card. We might end up selling the Star card. When you have idle, you just want to be using these suit changers throughout your deck. Make more pockets of potential idle hits in the deck. Make it more workable. But typically, there's not really much of a reason to sell. Like the extra deck manipulation is gonna be better than $1.
All right, Sizaak ends around with 2 rentals here, choosing to hold on to that hallucination. We've got you know, $25 going in the shop here. Actually, did not get the business card. Didn't reach it like Fur did, and so, well, okay, they didn't reach it because of the tarot merchant voucher. So extra tarot cards, the jokers are pushed a little further back.
Yeah, I mean, holding on to this hallucination is basically saying, yeah, I'll pay $3 for, on average, 1 random tarot card. It's not the worst decision in the world.
I mean, that was a deal Sizaak didn't want to do earlier with the Cardomancer, trading $3 for 1 tarot card, but now choosing to take that deal for the hallucination.
Yep.
even after we already have the tarot merchant giving us extra tarot cards in the shop.
All right, Hangman in this Arcana pack. Also, okay, well, interesting. We're going to use the star card and then fool another star card into hand instead of going for that Hangman. I was a little bit confused why we were using the star card, but I guess if we're going to fool it back into our hand, it makes sense, because this idol is on Queen of Diamonds right now. That is a decent hit when we have the star. Fur going to have red seal glass here, but no idol, so it just depends how many of these Queens of Diamonds can Sizaak get in their hand.
Any number of queens, we turn them into diamonds. So choosing here is sort of the short-term value of being able to make those diamonds and probably just straight up win this PvP versus removing cards from the deck for, you know, more long-term planning. Red Seal Glass in hand for Fur. Red Seal in hand for Sizaak could have been Glass, but Steel instead. We do have the Wild Kings compatible with, we can do a flush house once we draw those queens. Sizaak choosing, get the 6 cents value here.
And it's a deja vu.
Red Seal.
That is so
it's
rewarding.
The same deja vu that Fur got earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sizaak has not drawn the 6s in the rest of this ante.
Yeah,
that's the 1 6 that they got.
But even then, I mean, this was such a gamble by Sizaak in this PvP. I mean, you have a decent idol hit. You really need to draw your queens. This is black deck, gold stake. You have very limited draws. And so it's choosing to spend one of the draws on a spectral card. This is one of the few spectrals that are actually very beneficial here. And now we get deja vu on the Queen of Diamonds.
You play the 6 that costs you 1 whole hand. You don't get to redraw 5 cards. Now Sizaak missing those queens, only 1 queen held in hand. And that's it. No queens for Sizaak because of that. Possibly, you know, maybe not, but possibly because of playing that 6.
Yeah, also we only did a 4-card discard here. I think Sizaak was saying, hey, maybe I don't draw the queens, maybe I draw a flush house of kings and jacks, and that is going to be my line to win this PvP. But I don't know, I feel like you had to go for the queens here. Again, Sizaak not knowing what's going on Fur's side, but they have 2 glass cards, one of them red seal.
Yeah, so Fur here behind an idol, but looking very good in this round because of that red glass card that we made previously.
We should be putting it first for the Chad, but maybe a little bit difficult to realize because of the Smiley's scary. Yeah. And Sizaak going to play the flush. Now this red seal is the equivalent of a red seal glass card, and we don't put it first for Chad. So it's a lot of scoring that we're missing out on for Sizaak here. And I wonder if there's ever a way we can get away with not playing the red seal glass for Fur. I kind of doubt it.
Oh, absolutely we can get away with not playing it.
Yeah, I mean, big blunder from Sizaak here. Gonna potentially allow Fur to get away with playing less glass. And running the numbers here. It's not so obvious to me, but maybe Chad on the singular glass gets there. And then throw in the other queen. Yeah, maybe. And Sizaak has face in hands right now. I think they know.
I think he realized.
They know.
he knows.
All right, but here, not going to be punished here. I don't think that hand was going to win anyway. Hand coming out from Fur, not going to use the glass. It's 2 million.
2 breaks for Fur. That's rough, buddy.
Ow.
100% glass deleted.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just decrease that 2 million score by 8x, because that's how much we're missing out on if we remove the red seal glass. And
yeah, I mean,
we would have been there.
Saying earlier, even if Sizaak does get the red seal there on the idol, we're not getting the draw that we want. Fur here, despite being down an idol, being down a joker, I love their deck construction better up until this point where we lose the red seal glass card here. And so you called it, you're like, okay, well, after seeing the score from our opponent, now we recognize we don't need that much power. We can hold that glass card and not play it.
Yeah. All right, Death Temperance coming through here for Sizaak. Again, we don't have that red seal glass yet, but neither does Fur. It just broke in that last PvP. Maximum punished. Maximum punish here. Fur does have the life lead, but suddenly things don't look so bad for Sizaak anymore because of that break. And honestly, for Black Deck Gold Stake, we have a pretty decent idle deck. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is looking not too shabby. All the lovers cards in the face cards up there, making it so any suit hits if you land on a king. We have red seals across the queens and the jacks. And of course, we ripped that sigil early, so we have a lot of clubs in the deck. If it hits most clubs, we should be fine. If we see a dusk, Sizaak is looking to be in a very, very strong position.
Wraith for Fur.
Wraith could be anything. It could even be an obelisk stock. Think about that.
I mean, obviously, you're joking. You know, it could be anything, but you know, people think mostly about could be Blueprint Brainstorm. Obviously, those are the best, but still, DNA, Invisible Joker, Vagabond.
Yeah, I got
more than that.
I got my big five. It's Blueprint, Brainstorm, DNA, Vagabond, and then Invis Joker. Those are like
Ancient
the big
Joker
five.
too.
Oh, Ancient. Yeah, got to put that one in there.
Yeah, for me, Wraith is 1 in 3 chance. There's at least 7 good hits.
Yeah, even if you don't hit that, right? Let's say you don't hit those. I mean,
Trio,
on Gold Stake,
3?
yeah, on Gold Stake, we're not gonna be upset about a ×3 mole Joker. We're not gonna be upset about even like I don't know if we have the capability to play the family on both sides here, but if Sizaak could probably use the family. We have a lot of jacks here.
Sizaak found the death card 1 round earlier than Fur because of that tarot merchant voucher, just those tarot cards appearing earlier in the shop. So Sizaak was able to use the death, use the hangman, reroll into new tarot cards here, whereas Fur is going to be a little bit blocked on the consumable slots. We've got Wraith upstairs, we got Death upstairs, and if we keep rolling, then we're not going to be able to take any more consumables.
All right, a lot of things to think about in this shop. There's a red seal Lover's King in the standard pack that Sizaak hasn't seen yet. A Bloodstone with Sun card up top. That is a little bit frustrating. It's probably workable with all these Lover's Kings, but sure does make you feel bad for having built into all of those clubs. And we're just going to skip it on Sizaak's side, saying Bloodstone, not worth it when there's Glass and Idol already in the seed, passing to Acrobat as well. Baron, if that's something you want to do. Fur took that red seal Lover's King, picking up the Baron as well.
He's thinking about it. He's got the red seal kings in the deck. You know, we have the red gold that we made, 2 of them that, you know, we don't have to worry about them breaking.
Sizaak finding this Baron and skipping it. Also, the red seal showing up shortly after. I mean, a bit of an order mistake. I don't think we were taking Baron either way, but this is why I always say open the standard packs first. I mean, it's how you get the most possible information, because it's unlikely that something is going to change your decision on opening the standard pack. The only way you get punished is maybe if there's a hallucination a few rerolls deep.
Alright, Bloodstone, easy pickup for Fur already with those hearts in the deck. A little bit disappointed they weren't able to take the Sun card. They did consider selling the Wraith or using the Wraith to pick up that Sun card, but then deciding not to. Smiley face we don't need anymore.
Yep, because of this photograph, and there's the Bloodstone getting picked up from Fur. Now, the interesting thing about this Bloodstone is, yes, it is pretty weak on average, I would say. I mean, it requires quite a few triggers to put up on average even a 4x, and So maybe not the most insane thing in the world, but maybe you don't need that Bloodstone to be super powerful when Sizaak doesn't have it. So if this idol does not hit something useful for Sizaak, let's see what it's going to be. It's a diamond.
3 diamonds for Sizaak.
Yeah, not what we needed.
Fur's still in the shop here, okay? Trying to decide. We re-rolled down, okay? So we're down on money. Now we're going to use the Wraith. We're going to be able to rubber band back with the business card and the Chad combination. Fur is deciding, okay, do we want potentially this free re-roll Joker as an Eternal? Maybe not. Or what Joker are we selling to take the Wraith here? You know, if we're going to be selling the Baron and then keeping the Scary Face, or potentially sell the Scary Face, keep the Baron. That's going to be no more Baron, picking up Stuntman instead.
Definitely not what you want to see here. Sizaak finds a Justice card. That's what we needed for our Red Seal face cards. You know, it's funny. Sizaak has a Red Seal King, Queen, and Jack. If that idol hits any face card, we got a Red Seal for it. Sizaak ahead in just total money spent, but keep in mind a lot of money is getting generated every round here. Sizaak already played through all the shops. I mean, they're nearing the end of this final shop at least. His Fur still has a few more hands to play. The Red Seal Gold, the Chad with the business card, a little bit more runway left, so the gap is not as big as it seems.
Yeah, also, your 5th reroll in one shop, that's like $10 reroll. It costs the same amount as the first 2 rerolls. So like $5 and $6, that adds up to a $10 or $11 reroll. So, you know, as you're rerolling deeper and deeper, as you have more and more money, you're not necessarily getting the same amount of value per dollar. And so we saw in some of these earlier antes, Sizaak having potentially a significant economic lead, but not necessarily getting that much value out of it over his opponent. So sort of course, we have the idle advantage over Fur here, but Fur, I am liking the deck construction here up until the point where we lost the Red Seal Glass card. At the very least, we can build into these hearts for the Bloodstone. We're going to go ahead and use the death on the Red Seal King here. I think there's some consideration holding the death until the PvP round.
It is a little bit unfortunate for Fur here that this is our scoring hand, that it's all these gold cards. No ticket in the lineup, but sure, if I see somebody play this hand, I would think they would, but no, this is just what we need to play to get out.
Or deciding they do not want to unlock that 5 of a kind. At the very least, if you're playing all these extra kings, you are getting a little bit of business card value for up to $31 here. Fur does not have the Tarot Merchant that Sizaak has. So Fur, we're hoping to find this Justice card, but we might not get that deep. Sizaak going 5 rerolls deeper than Fur already.
Yeah, finding the Justice card, even the Sun could be very beneficial. Maybe get Flush 5 guaranteed, or Flush House. Eternal Acrobat showing up. This is black deck. Maybe Eternal when your opponent is at 2 lives. I mean, there's not a super. I mean, there's time left in this game for sure, but not a lot of it. Maybe this Acrobat could be impactful.
I take Acrobat here. I think we're low enough on lives. I think we're deep enough in the game. I think it's clear we're not economically making it much further. The only way you get punished for taking Acrobat here is if you find like 3 better Jokers than Scary Face and Business Card, which are already replaceable.
Yep. I mean, so you would need like, I mean, Oops All 6s, and then like a re-trigger, and then another re-trigger after that, probably. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't hate the Acrobat. I think it is just very scary to take, just because you know that, I mean, these X-Molt Jokers can be the difference in PvPs, but a single glass card could just completely invalidate it, and now you just took up a Joker slot for the entire game because your opponent has more glass. Like, if Fur takes this Acrobat here, it is still going to be difficult to win this PvP just because Sizaak has this red seal glass.
Yeah, so idle, we've got 3 of diamonds on the idle. It seems like Sizaak might not lean into that. So, you know, maybe we hold the 3 of diamonds, we play it as part of a full house or a flush house, or, you know, maybe we discard it and we lean into those face cards. We've got the glass king. Maybe we want to be playing kings. Maybe we want to be using that justice card on, you said we've got a red seal of every flavor, right? We've got jacks, we got queens, we got kings. Maybe that's the thing that we want to do. I think clear advantage here, Sizaak, in this round.
Absolutely. I mean, he just has so many options. Red seal.
We've got the red seal king, and it's diamonds, so it's compatible with that 3 of diamonds if we want to play maybe a flush.
Yeah,
Sizaak may be considering getting rid of the glass king here. Save it for later.
Yeah, it looks like we do have another 3 of diamonds in the deck. We did get an additional 2 discards from discard vouchers, so maybe you're going to have a bit of an easier time drawing this flush house. This flush house, by the way, is quite leveled up. It is up to 30 base mult, I believe, for Sizaak, and quite a bit of chips as well. I don't know the exact number. So if we can get our hands on this 3, and there it is. Okay, but now we need another king. Keep in mind, even though there's only 1 king of diamonds in the deck, we also have quite a few lovers kings as well that will fulfill the obligation here. But we find a third 3 of diamonds. I didn't realize we had a third one.
Yeah, I mean, half the deck is diamonds, half the deck is clubs.
All right, Sizaak thinking, do I put the glass on the red seal or the basic king? I don't want the red seal to break. I think it's definitely on the red seal here. And there's the flush house, 300 times 30. Wow, that's like, is it like that for every odd number? Because I remember it also goes to 500 times 50. I guess that would make sense. Yeah, 4 times 5 is 20, so you just go up by 20 every 5 levels.
All right, tie game 2-2. Jack of diamonds on the idle for Sizaak.
%. All right, 2-2. I mean, I think, this game was looking pretty good for Fur, but the second that red seal glass broke, it just became so scary, and now we're really seeing Sizaak start to form a very tangible lead. Also, welcome in, Rarin. Thanks for the raid. I will be watching your game, see how it went. No spoilers, please.
First, still holding the 6 cents, but then playing the gold seal on the first hand there to get the money. I guess maybe no 6s in the deck, even though we still have the 6 cents upstairs.
Yeah, only 1 left, and I mean, we do have those 2 additional discards. I think maybe a reason you might want to keep this 6 cents is strength. I mean, if you come across a single strength here, that you can turn that into a spectral. It's the same. Oh my goodness, there's a negative scary face. That's fancy. But that might be a reason we want to keep the 6 cents around. I will say the amount of hits is not super high. I mean, the deja vu is, I mean, it still could matter, but less likely to. I think maybe we're really hoping for Immolate, Cryptid, Talisman with Chad could be phenomenal. I mean, there's still several great hits. And with this Tarot Merchant purchase, we are more likely to run into the strength.
Yeah, I mean, huge divergence in this game. Sizaak taking that Tarot Merchant for not taking it. Potentially there you have this concern about Joker difference. Okay, if you have more Tarot cards in your shop, you're not going to see as many Jokers as your opponent. But then also those Tarot cards are allowing you to build your deck, whether that's scoring pieces or whether that's value generating pieces, whether that's, you're finding extra Devil, extra Magician in the shop, extra gold cards, extra lucky cards, and then snowballing from there. Sizaak finding in the very last ante Justice, and for being just out of reach.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I think Tarot Merchant is one of the best vouchers to find in Major League Balatro. Genuinely.
Okay, Justice for fur. We've got Red Seal glass diamonds now. We do want to turn it into hearts. We've got Dusk in a Buffoon pack.
Dusk in a Buffoon pack is bad news.
Sizaak's going to see the same, and Sizaak's going to have the idol set up here.
Yeah. I mean, the reason this Dusk is such bad news for fur is because the idol for Sizaak, I mean, maybe you would say, oh, if the idol doesn't hit a face card, it's not super impactful because you're trying to play photo chad, so you don't necessarily want to chad the idol card, so there's a lot more misses. But now that idol has shown up, every single idol card that we have is going to be 4x in the hand that we play. That is going to be a lot of scoring coming through, even on the off hits. Even if we just use a suit changer to get 3 copies and play a flush house, I mean, this idol is going to be going crazy.
Yeah, that's another advantage of having the Tarot Merchant or just Tarot cards in general. Idol is random each round, right? Ancient Joker is random each round. And sometimes you set your deck up ahead of time, and then that makes Idol hit more favorably if your deck is already set up. Or sometimes Idol hits and it's unfavorable, and you can re-roll for Tarot cards, which allow you to, on the fly, fix your deck to whatever it is. So, if Idol is on 3 of diamonds, all you need is a star card. You can turn your other 3s into diamonds on demand.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is part of what makes Idol so powerful, is even when it misses, you still have potentially something you can do about it, right? Another Eternal Joker. Not a useful one this time, but we could take it for the memes. Take it for the temperance value.
$20 hit on the 4 of a kind for fur.
No, wait, we're
couple
cooking.
Business card hits, $60 going into the next shop.
I was gonna say we take halvesies so that we common block, so that we run into photo chat more often, but then I remembered we already have photo chat.
Alright, so as I can see the Dusk here. Idol on 4 of hearts, hoping to play one more round.
There's another glass red seal for Sizaak here.
At the cost of $20.
Yeah, but I mean, that is a red seal glass that I would pay 20 bucks to have. I believe
that is the only red seal glass for Sizaak. We've got one other glass card, that's the King of Clubs, and we've got a couple of the red seals, but that's the only red glass. Fur has access to the red glass and has the death card inside the Arcana pack here, but doesn't have a good target. Maybe considering taking money instead, and then re-rolling for different tarot cards.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Only way you really get punished by doing that play is a Fool could show up and you could have had Death Fool, but I mean, it's a long shot.
Yeah, once again here for the 3rd or 4th time this match, obviously Sizaak, clear advantage having the idol. Also has the Tarot Merchant, but despite having the Tarot Merchant, I still prefer to have Fur's deck here over Sizaak's.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, deck, of course. Sorry.
Yeah, look at it.
No, his deck is phenomenal. I agree. His deck is great.
Yeah.
All those gold cards. I just keep thinking about Sizaak's deck in terms of like idle, and I mean Fur's deck makes a lot more sense for what he's going for, but
yeah, forget about the idle.
Yeah,
you know,
just forget
idle
about
with a
it.
lucky whip in ante 2 or whatever. You know, if you forget about, you know, just getting this lucky idle, then Fur would be in it, or more so than he is kind of in it, depending on what the idle hits here. Sizaak deactivating the last 4. No more 4s for Sizaak.
You know, it's pretty funny. So like the eternal negative scary face for Sizaak here. I highly doubt this will happen, but it could be very punishing if we run into an Invis Joker. It could be punishing. I mean, Fur has the Eternal Halvesies and Eternal Raised Fist, which is much worse than the Scary Face because they blocked the Scary Face. They already had it in their lineup. But
alright, Sizaak getting the same lucky hit that Fur did. Going into the shop with the same $60 that Fur had.
Alright, Strength card. Could be useful in the future. Maybe just getting more idle hits could strength a couple 10s into jacks. Is an unfortunate idle hit for Sizaak here. Not really.
Ace of Spades. I mean, once again,
we have
we've got
Dusk.
strength upstairs. If we've got a Red Seal King, we can turn it into an ace.
Yeah, I guess we have enough red seals.
I don't know if we should, but we could.
Yeah, I mean, we have enough red seals.
We have a Wild King. Wild King becomes an ace here, and then we can death it inside the pack is also possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could death the king here, and then in the next round draw the kings, and then strength them after you draw them.
Yeah, it looks like Sizaak is just gonna go for the strength jacks, death another red seal jack.
Okay. So accepting the idol is gonna miss here, but then in the future we have those red seal jacks set up.
Yeah, I think
Now about 10 of them, maybe 9 of the clubs, jack of clubs.
I don't know. I think I like the play of using the strength in PvP for our idle hits since we have Dusk. I kind of forgot about Dusk a little bit, but the Dusk really changes the equation here about whether playing towards that off hit is worth or not, and I think it absolutely is here. I mean, just suddenly having like 4 glass cards when otherwise you wouldn't, and we're completely
I mean, he
unpunished.
gets the strength anyway, and now he's considering golden ticket. Maybe not. We don't have enough gold cards. We have business card instead.
I mean,
golden ticket also eternal there. Maybe we don't want to take the eternal.
Yeah. And also, wait,
Ace
I just
of
realized
Spades in hand for Sizaak, but it's going to be a purple seal, which
How
we
does-
may not want to play.
how does Sizaak have an extra Joker slot right now? How did that happen?
We're playing on black deck.
Yeah. What I mean is like, when did he
scary
sell out
face.
of it? Yeah, I understand
Scary
that.
face is
I
negative.
understand that. But I'm asking, when did he sell out of his 6th Joker and not buy another one?
Oh, unclear. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he forgot.
Yeah, that's my question. That's what I'm asking about. Maybe I worded that a little bit.
Oh,
poorly.
sold out of Midas.
Oh,
They're saying
okay.
in the chat.
I
I mean, that
see.
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to deactivate your glass cards. All right. Sizaak is saying no Ace of Spades for me.
All right. Decision has been made. I wonder if, I mean, definitely the highest score we could have right now would be flush house of kings and aces, and then use justice on one of those aces, and then just chad the ace. But I don't know. Sizaak not gonna go for that here. And with this Dusk being perishable, it is quite important that we win here. So, I mean, that is the advantage that Sizaak has with the Dusk is the idol here. And if we're not going to use the idol
jacks
cards,
and kings for Sizaak, that's probably gonna do it for Sizaak.
Well, keep in mind, Fur has this Bloodstone. With the Dusk and 4 Red Seals, I mean, it's definitely not bad.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's no, like... It's like, no 3 glass.
It's yeah, it's definitely not 3 Red Seal glass, but I mean, the Bloodstone's on average, what, like 8x, maybe a little bit more? Because 7.5, on 5 1.5x's, and then it's getting 11
also
triggers.
These flush house levels, you know, already that's almost 15 times advantage.
Yep. Yeah, the flush house and then 3 total glass cards here with the Dusk should 100% take it. One Red Seal break from Sizaak. I mean, now
if I'm Fur here, I hold back.
I mean,
it's
such a hard decision to make. It's such a hard.
No, we're not getting 1 billion points.
Well, yeah. I think that you absolutely have the experience to make that decision, right? To know that that's not going to be 1 billion. But I think it's so much more difficult.
Maybe.
No,
not short. Even close.
10x short. But it's so much harder in the moment, no calculator, to really just... That's what I mean by it's so hard to know. I'm not saying like, of course, we probably never get there unless Bloodstone hits like every time, and even then it's still close, but it's just hard to know that, you know? Unless you are a math PhD, I guess.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's really bad for Brainstorm showing up. And Sizaak, is he thinking about what he needs to sell here? I hope not. I mean, this scary face, this has happened to me before, where I get a negative, and then I forget I have an extra Joker slot, because it looks natural. Yeah, I think Sizaak's thinking about what to sell. Wait. Oh, no.
I mean, his opponent's on 1 life. Why wouldn't you take it?
Well, we have another Joker slot. We can just take it. We don't need to sell anything.
Oh,
yeah, because
right.
Exactly what we were talking about before.
Right.
Yeah, that negative scary face plays tricks on the mind, man. It does. Okay, we just buy it. We just buy it.
Is good. Also, we got Tarot Merchant. Second opportunity to take Tarot Merchant for Fur. Maybe they're not going to take it here. Could be Tarot Tycoon for Sizaak. I like Tarot Tycoon for Sizaak here if we already have Idol and Brainstorm.
Tarot Tycoon is phenomenal here. There's a dice for Fur. It's perishable, but it's not going to beat an Idol hit with Brainstorm.
Well, it's not going to beat an Idol hit, but if the Idol doesn't hit...
Yeah, now we're talking.
For having the Sun card upstairs, we can turn the Red Seal Glass card into... it wasn't Hearts before, and I think that was a big problem before. We can fix that.
So... News coming in, apparently Sizaak's chat told him that he had another Joker slot. So
that's a flag on the play.
That's a commissioner.
Yeah, can we get the boss in here? Can we get the commissioner?
But he did forget. It sure looked like he forgot.
I mean, we could drop in on him. We can ask. I'm not the commissioner, but my ruling would be you gotta sell
a Joker now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even
like,
if
you know, going forward, you have 6 slots, but for right now, you gotta sell one.
I think that would be a fair ruling. That would be a fair ruling. I think even if that did happen, Sizaak is still in a phenomenal position, even without the business card, which I think would be the sell if we were forced. They might have been thinking about selling photograph and full farming business card, but I think it's way too late in the day in the seed to be pulling some shenaniganry like that.
This is like not making the lucky cards here on the Kings.
Yeah, just really valuing the lovers, because maybe off hit on idle. Again, I mean, at this point, that's what really matters, right?
We've had a Bloodstone come up before. A Bloodstone could come up again, and so maybe you want to have the wild cards for the Bloodstone.
I mean, yeah, potentially. I mean, if you find Bloodstone, I guess you can sell business card for it. I don't know, if I saw a Bloodstone in this position, I don't even think I would take it. I think I would value
instead of business card. You wouldn't swap business card for a Bloodstone.
No, I think I would value the money from business card, giving me potentially more glass, potentially more suit changers for my idle card before PvP, because that's what really matters at this point. It's not even the glass. Since we have Brainstorm copying the idle, every trigger is going to be 4x instead of 2x, which is going to be more impactful than glass. So having the suit changer, because you can roll a little bit farther with the business card, feels like it would be maybe more impactful than a Bloodstone.
We're seeing Gold Seal, couple lucky cards on the final hand from Fur here, hoping to pick up some money off this Dusk and Dice combo.
Alright, Hangman showing up. A bit of an unfortunate idle hit for Sizaak.
Every time.
This Dusk is ticking down. Interestingly enough, though, it's not going to be dead directly after this PvP. You'll still have another blind after to play with it to try to fish for it, and we're skipping on our best idle hit anyway. So maybe this Dust does survive until the end of the game, even if we lose the next PvP. It really depends. We have another blind to play as well.
Sun card for Fur, that's the second Sun card this ante back-to-back, is pretty useful.
Yeah, again, Sizaak just using these suit changers throughout the deck. Yes, we're not playing into diamonds necessarily, we have a lot more clubs, but just continuing to get our idle off hits more and more playable. And now if it hits a Jack of Diamonds, we have plenty of those. We have flush 5 probably.
I mean, if we've got 10 or even 11 Jack of Diamonds, that's still a 1 in 5.
Yeah, but it's about all the other hits throughout the deck, though, because it doesn't need to hit Jack of Diamonds even if we have a lot of those. We also have plenty of kings.
No Jack of Diamonds. He's got Jack of Clubs. He's got 10 Jack of Clubs.
Yeah, but he just used a star card on some Jacks. Maybe he had, I don't know how many Jack of Diamonds he has. Maybe he was overriding some Jack of Clubs to make 5 Jack of Diamonds. Now if it hits Jacks in general, we have a flush 5 of either. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, important thing about the idle, you don't need all of your cards to be the same. You just need whatever idle hits, you need to have 5 of those. So they could be different suits, they could be different ranks, as long as you have at least 5. So 5 Jack of Clubs, or 5 Queen of Diamonds, and then 5 King of Hearts, all fine, as long as you have at least 5.
Yep. And here's...
with some consideration for... you want to have red seals and you want to have glass cards, and it's hard to have all of those on all these different cards. So there's definitely going to be the one card that's favored, that you use more of your death cards on.
All right, and here's the moment of truth. Does it all end here, or does Fur have a chance in this next PvP? It's Jack of Clubs, I think.
Jack of Clubs.
Yep.
That's not good.
That might be over. It might be over. Yeah, also, I feel like I should mention, yes, it is a little bit unfortunate that there was some backseating involved here, but I don't think the business card really shaped the outcome of this game here. I think you could make a very solid argument if it was an off hit and we had to roll for the correct suit changer or something along those lines, but hitting on the best possible card in the deck, this business card was not going to matter.
Yeah. I think it's a clean victory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, assuming victory.
I mean, yeah, Fur could Fur could roll into something crazy here. It doesn't get much crazier than double idol though.
I mean, with death full upstairs for Sizaak, you know, maybe that's one of those things where if you didn't have the business card, you wouldn't re-roll into those. But, you know, here death and full coming out on the red seal glass jack of clubs. That's the jack of clubs for the idol. And then we still have $84 left over. We can re-roll for even more tarot cards using that tarot tycoon. Not only are we setting up those jacks, we also have a hangman here in the Arcana pack for Sizaak. So that, you know, we don't really care about the idol hitting anymore. It's already done its thing. It's already hit. What we care about is being able to draw the hand next round.
Yep. That is what matters here. And yeah, I mean, this idol showed up so long ago. And when we saw it, I mean, it wasn't looking too phenomenal as a Joker. It was before Chad showed up, before any of these re-triggers, but just having it as an option to go late game with these gold stake matches, just having it as a potential pivot point. It has the most upside, and it's really paying off for Sizaak here. Fur just probably would have made the same decision, but did not have the same opportunity.
Yeah, if Fur sees the idol, Fur takes the idol, so it's moot.
Yeah.
Of course, the idol's good.
Yeah.
Well,
I just, you know, there's
not
some
everyone
people
in the league has made that decision.
Exactly.
We've seen a lot of idols cast, and so maybe it's worth expounding on that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's
seen too many idols pass for us to not talk about it.
Yeah. I think the only idol I'm passing is probably Rental Idol on Gold Stake early. Probably passing that one. Again, of course, depends on my economy situation. Maybe if I have good econ, I'm still taking it. But most Gold Stake games, I probably am not taking early Eternal Rental Idol. Alright, immediately drawing 3 out of 5 here. Justice card up top. Yeah, I mean, for playing this game, I think very well, to be honest. I mean, they played as well as they could without finding this idol here. I mean, as you kept saying, I mean, phenomenal deck fixing, ending up in a pretty decent late game build. I mean, Bloodstone, oops, Red Seal, Face Card Glass, Photo Chad, Dusk, Brainstorm. That is a very solid build for a black deck Gold Stake. And I mean, doing it quite easily, but just unfortunately for them, not rolling into the idol, not having the same options that Sizaak had, and it is going to result in the 2-0.
So, you know, if we trace it back, okay, how is Sizaak having the money to find the idol that Fur doesn't find? It comes from, we had that early, it was Riff Raff, right? Riff Raff, Fur sells all of the value generating jokers. And Sizaak keeps that Faceless Joker for longer. Sizaak is able to get the full $10 for 3 or 4 rounds in a row before, you know, selling it later. And so that is the economic difference that resulted in us getting the idol. Of course, idol is the one most powerful thing that you can't miss out on, right? But it could have been anything. Instead of idol, it could have been something else. It could have been an earlier photograph and chat. It could have been even Ancient Joker or an earlier Bloodstone or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think another kind of key difference here from Fur. That one round recognizing, okay, we have the red seal glass card. We see our score from our opponent. Of course, Sizaak misplayed it, putting the red seal in the wrong place and scoring less than they could have. But either way, recognizing the score that our opponent has, knowing that we don't need to play that red seal glass, the red seal glass doesn't break. Sizaak gets to, or sorry, Fur gets to keep that red seal glass and then is finding those death cards in the next ante to make copies of it. I think despite being down and idle, I think Fur had a very serious way of coming back into this game, if not for breaking that one card at that pivotal time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I feel like figuring out how much you're going to score and knowing that, I mean, it's very unlikely that a player is going to pull out a calculator or, you know, just figure it out by actually doing the math. A lot of times it's going to be based off of feeling or based off of hands that you've played previously, and you kind of use that as like a benchmark. I think that someone like Fur, who isn't playing Balatro as much as maybe you or Zeno or even Sizaak here, is going to have a much harder time eyeballing the score and being aware of their score, because maybe you know, I mean, I can figure out a ballpark range of my score, and sometimes I'm like way off, sometimes I'm correct. I would say I'm correct more than not, and get like a ballpark estimate of what I'm going to score just by looking at the hand and the jokers. But and a lot of that's off of feeling, because I've played the game so much, right? And maybe that's going to be a lot harder for someone like Fur, just because they've played less.
Yeah, it could also be a stake difference. You know, if you're more familiar with playing on a different stake other than gold stake, and so you're not having that confidence about, okay, you know, I need this much, but I don't need more than this much. And so for holding on to that scary face, smiley face, powerful combination, stable combination, allowing Fur to take that first PvP, but then Sizaak recognizing, oh, I don't need both of those, I just need the one banana. And then I have all of this extra room for value generators and extra room for riffraff value. I think also I would have liked to see Fur pick up that Tarot Merchant voucher much earlier, when Sizaak picked up that early Tarot Merchant voucher. Then maybe instead of having just that one glass card, which did break, maybe we could have had more glass cards by then where we could afford the losses.
Yeah, again, Tarot Merchant, one of the best vouchers, in my opinion. It's so powerful.
Fur piloted well with the tarot cards he was dealt. He used them very well, but then if he had access to more, then could have done much more.
It's gonna be E18 from Sizaak. That is a phenomenal score to put up on gold stake black deck. I mean, that's probably the gold stake black deck record in the league, if I had to guess. Could be completely wrong. Maybe there's a game that I'm unaware of. An E12 from Fur, which is not shabby at all either.
Not bad. Well, it's a million times different, but
still, E12 is gonna beat most players.
Yeah, not bad for gold stake.
Yeah. All right, it's gonna be 2-0. Fur still gonna be trying to fight for playoff points. I mean, even if they get one here, they significantly increase their chances of playoffs. I mean, they already have a phenomenal shot at playoffs with things as they are right now. Even if they lose this, they have an even record, 2 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah, despite the winning position from Sizaak here, another thing that I wanted to see was with the we had the red seal in the shop. We had the opportunity to turn it into glass. We made it into steel instead. And then when we got the cryptid, we made more of those steel jacks. Now none steel jacks. Those could have been red seal glass jacks much earlier.
Yeah, I do think that...
And many of them with that cryptid card.
I do think that picking the chariot over the steel was... the chariot over the glass was definitely dubious, but I do think we were correct to use the cryptid before we find a justice, because it's a lot to ask to find the justice and then draw the steel card. Just making sure that we have the 3 red seals as ways to get out of the blinds on gold stake black deck, I quite like, but definitely very punished for using the chariot instead of the justice.
You don't always get that punished, but Sizaak got really punished.
Yes, Sizaak got quite punished.
The trigger.
It was all well. Also, I mean, you could say that yes, there's 3 red seal glass. Well, maybe I want one of those not to be glass so that I can play it in the blinds with my photo Chad and have more.
Well, when
for
you
value,
make 3 of them, then you can make that pivot later. You can put a Hierophant on it and then turn it off if you want.
Absolutely.
And experience allows you to recognize what type of seed I'm on and then play accordingly and then adapt, right? Whereas if you're playing on purple stake, there's less variance there. There's okay, we're not going to see any rentals, we're not going to see any perishables, so all of the seeds are less bad on average, and so you can go in knowing that you can play around that.
All right,
looks like gold stake, abandoned deck.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite combos right here. I love abandoned gold. Probably I'm gonna say this is my second favorite combo to play. There's an early obelisk. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Okay.
You've heard me talk about obelisk a lot.
Sizaak ripping the 10 high straight right away, guaranteeing the 2-shot. Okay, we have the straight right away, we play it, and then we get another hand. For a little bit more risk here, going for the full house, but the full house does win in 1, so Fur is up $1.
Yep, up $1. Could matter.
And this is a move that you can do on the abandoned deck that you can't as easily do on other decks, getting that first round full house when you only have 40 cards in the deck.
All right, Obelisk picked up. The other option in this Buffoon pack was Eternal Holographic Cartomancer, which I don't even hate. It's powerful enough to one-shot these early blinds and could generate a lot of value.
Yeah.
So I mean, that as a value generator could 100% win the game for Fur if that's the option.
Holographic or not, it's Cartomancer every time.
It's Eternal, but yeah, it's...
Well, you said Eternal Holographic, right?
Yeah,
so
Eternal
even
Holographic.
if it's not Holographic, I still take Eternal Cartomancer.
Interesting. All right, we'll see.
The tarot cards matter that much to me. I keep harping on this, where it's
they
like,
matter
okay,
a lot.
How many rerolls does it take to see 1 tarot card? It takes 3.5 shops on average to see 1 tarot card of the 20 different possible tarot cards. So, the Cartomancer is giving you at least that much value each round.
Okay. I'm interested to see how this Obelisk works out for Sizaak. Looks like we're going to start by playing a bunch of pairs as the base, and Fur takes this Eternal Holographic Cartomancer. So we are going to see the early divergent. Sizaak intentionally dying to the blind to scale this Obelisk. I don't think this was not intentional.
Interesting. I would not have taken it that far. If you just win in 1, you also get $3, right? Like you don't need to lose your life to get that $3.
I don't think he was losing the life to get the $3. I think he was losing the life to make sure he played 4 pairs there for the Obelisk.
Yeah, but you could do that too. You can play 3 separate pairs and then finish with a flush or finish with a full house.
Yeah. I mean that's an option. It just scales it less. I think that's definitely the line I personally would have taken is 3 pairs and then finish with a flush. But
so we. Fur here, because it is this holographic Cartomancer, not just Cartomancer, but holographic Cartomancer, we get the win in 1. We get the Empress, okay, which is maybe not super exciting, but could be a little bit meaningful, especially in that first PvP. Even if you get the Obelisk up to ×3 for that first PvP, 3 times nothing, still nothing.
Absolutely, and we're going to have a lot of economy issues on Sizaak's side of the board here, unless we're planning on dying to the blinds again for comeback money, which I doubt, but the way we're playing this blind makes me think maybe. This is wild. This is a very, very aggressive line. I think maybe Sizaak is thinking, if I lose to the blinds, it doesn't matter as long as I win the PvP, but again, we still need to win the PvP when our opponent has Eternal Holographic Cartomancer. That is very good tempo by itself.
Okay. Glass 5 for Fur. We picked up a stone card. We can make a rock to go with the holographic. That's an easy win for this round. Again, winning in 1. Have that Cartomancer. We're just waiting for. We're gonna hit the Hermit, we're going to hit the Emperor, we're going to hit the Death card, we can copy that Glass card, we can get Justice for more Glass cards. There's just so many good hits for Fur.
Yeah, absolutely. Or when your deck just is not fixed very much at all. Wow.
This shop sucks.
Yeah, no, this shop does suck for Sizaak here.
Yeah, no Wii Joker, no what was it? No Golden Joker.
Yeah, and if you're the Cardomancer...
I think there's a consideration on Fur's side for you sell the first Empress, you sell the first tower. That gives you $2 extra, but then also an extra $1 of interest, possibly.
Sizaak completely bricking the flush draw here. Super unfortunate for them. Used both of their discards when they're running Obelisk, which you never want to do early.
Yeah, very often you want to be opening these early booster packs, especially the standard packs, so that you're not missing anything that your opponent is finding. But when you have this Cardomancer giving you the tarot cards, the Arcana packs matter less. They still matter, they're still useful, but they matter less, at least in the short term. And so what we want to see from Fur here is saving that money, not opening Arcana packs, favoring these other packs instead. Choice between Red Seal or Blue Seal for Fur.
Alright, Sizaak does successfully make it out of this blind without dying, but it comes at a great cost. We're not getting any hand money. We leave this shop with $1. Wii Joker in the shop, we can't afford it. It might have to be the Golden.
Well, yeah, Sizaak does have a little bit of savings here from the blind money earlier, and so is able to take that Golden Joker, which is great for Sizaak.
Yep. Also, I think we did play enough pairs that this Obelisk, as long as we get a decent amount more deck fixing sometime in the future to pivot into potentially 4 of a kind. On Abandoned, it's much more doable to do something like that, where it might actually end up being active for the entire game. We'll see.
Oh, this Obelisk is going all the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super high on the pairs, but it's high enough.
It's powerful, but because Sizaak doesn't have any money for anything else.
Yep. All right, moon card in the shop. Now, hold on. This PvP is winnable for Sizaak all of a sudden with this moon card. Flush House is going to overcome the barrier of no chips or Molt Joker, and since we're going to have a 3x Molt on our side with this Obelisk, could win.
Fur has the moon. Fur has the same Flush House capability. Fur has an extra 6 in the deck from that standard pack, that Red Seal. Has the Justice upstairs. We could see a Flush House from Fur with as many as 2.5 glass cards.
Yeah, I mean 8x Molt essentially from glass, potentially this PvP. Taking the Drunkard, I like that play for Sizaak here. You are a little bit broke, but you need to make sure you aren't going to reset this Obelisk, and that extra discard gives a little bit of cloud.
That means no standard pack, no Red Seal for Sizaak. If we're taking the Drunkard instead. I think that makes sense for Sizaak to take the Drunkard, but we are missing that Red Seal.
Alright, here's the Flush House from Sizaak, making sure to play it very early. Maybe you miss out on a little bit of Exmal from the Obelisk, but we don't want to use our discards while we have this Obelisk. We want to make sure that we're playing multiple hands that aren't pairs afterwards, and it's harder to do that if we're going to hold on to the Flush House until the very end.
Can't play pairs, but we could play high card, kinda.
Yeah, we can play high card, but those are we have a limited amount of those. Those are in very high value, so we don't want to use those unless we have to.
Alright, in order to get the Flush House for Fur needs to draw the 5 of clubs specifically. Or the 6 of clubs. We could go 6 of clubs with that Red Seal 6. Throwing away the 6 of clubs, I think that might be... That's it for Fur.
Well, we have the Flush House of 10s and 2s with the Justice card and the 10 Molt from Cardomancer. Maybe, I don't think the math works out for it, but I think maybe we might be looking for the 5 of clubs specifically, or just the Red Seal 6. Just going to justice it up.
Red Seal 6 for Fur, that could have been the Flush House with the red glass.
Okay, but this is what Sizaak needed. Sizaak needed to win this first PvP, right? Losing a life to the blinds and then losing another life to PvP would be tragic here, but now we have a little bit more time. The Golden Joker is going to get our economy engine back online even though we made a lot of sacrifices, and This obelisk could win the game, specifically if Fur doesn't find the re-triggers and the deck fixing necessary to get this red seal glass build online.
The obelisk loses to the red seal glass card. Like if the obelisk is a ×4, red seal glass card is a ×4. Fur discarded the red seal without turning it into a glass card, holding the glass card until the final hand here. This is not going to be enough. So this is another one of those situations where you see what your opponents score, and either you know you can beat that or you know that you can't beat that.
And it breaks. Man, it's so close for Fur here. But yeah, it's just not going to be enough.
In order to hold on to the moon, in order to hold on to the justice, had to block the Cartomancer from spawning a tarot card that round. And so what we really wanted to see is use the justice on the red seal, discard it, and then that way we clear up our consumable slots for the Cartomancer.
Yep, absolutely. Another thing to note is Abandon deck is one of these decks that, yes, it's gold stake, but you can rely maybe just a little bit more on these specific cards in your deck. You only have 40 of them. You're going to draw them more often. If we go into this red seal glass for Fur, the chance that it's actually going to be impactful in the PvP is very likely.
Fur here had the choice inside the Arcana pack, choose red seal glass or red seal lucky cards, chose the lucky cards instead. It was Justice and Magician, and they chose Magician.
That could come back to bite Fur, or it could be the greatest play we've ever seen. Depends how these luckies decide to pan out. I think when we don't have economy here for Fur, maybe just valuing, making sure that we get some sort of engine online, and then we can worry about glass later. We are at 3 lives to 3, so...
Cartomancer's economy. You get $1 every round. Every round you sell the card. You get $1 every round, and then every 10 rounds you get $20.
So true. Sock and Buskin. I mean, that is helpful for a re-trigger build, but this is Abandon deck, so you're going to need to put in a little bit of work to get there. With the Cartomancer, could make things a little bit easier. Find a strength, find something along those lines, but this does make the red seal maybe a little bit worse for Fur. There's nothing saying that Sizaak can't pick up this sock as well.
Alright, death card for Fur, that could have been the second red glass. But now it's red lucky instead. Which is fine, it's just it could have been glass.
Yep. I agree.
Actually, Fur could have been up to 4 glass now, because the previous Arcana pack had... Fur had Justice, the card broke, and then Arcana pack had another Justice, and then now there's a Death card.
Alright, and Sizaak, interesting, deciding instead of taking Justice, instead of taking Magician, we're going to take the Fool for the Moon card. We're going to play very heavily into flush houses here. Deciding, hey, my obelisk is never going to reset if I'm just going to play these flush houses, get my deck all to the same suit. I'll always draw them. Still very struggling to get a source of decent base molt for the PvP, but and I mean, this is where we can see Obelisk being a very solid tempo option. This glass, of course, is phenomenal for Fur. It can be, but not yet. Not until we're playing high base molt hands.
Card for Fur.
Yeah, we just need a high base molt hand to play it, or a lot of re-triggers. Here's Strength. Could consider strengthening that 10 into a Jack and ripping the Justice on it, or even now deciding to put the Justice on the red seal. Potentially. Are we thinking about strengthening the 6 all the way to a face
That's
card?
Crazy.
That is a ballsy line, my friend, but he's read the seed. He knows Cartomancer is going to give strength 5 times in a row.
Cartomancer covers a world of hurt, but I don't know if it goes that far.
All right, Sizaak considering this Eternal Ride the Bus as a source of base molt, I think. I mean, he was hovering over it. Maybe he very quickly it was like, Lamau, that's funny, and decided he's never going to pick it up. Well, no, we passed up on the sock. I think Sizaak is certain this is going to be a tempo obelisk line for him. He's going all in. Yeah, I mean, no sock purchases. Yeah, and there's the Ride the Bus. And I mean... So this is Sizaak's plan. Just base molt, massive X molt from the obelisk, tempo. Say Fur does not have enough sauce to beat the base blinds if they're going full retrigger. With glass, with the sock, and that's the plan.
Or it could have so much sauce right now.
You know, yeah, Fur could have a bunch. Oh my gosh, there's another death card.
We gotta do it now.
Yeah.
We gotta do it now.
Yeah, 100%. And if Fur draws like a 5 of a kind here with 2 red seal glass, I'm pretty sure that blows Sizaak out of the water.
I think the obelisk could work, but I think the obelisk loses to Cartomancer for exactly this reason.
I mean, this has been
if I have that choice, I'd take Cartomancer.
I think this has been a particularly lucky Cartomancer. I do think it was the correct line. I
mean, we got 1 death in 6 cards. That's not crazy lucky.
We've gotten a lot of justices though as well, right?
No, the justices have been in the shop.
Okay, we got at least 1 justice from the Cardo.
1 justice we bought from the it was just in the regular shop queue. 1 justice was 2 justices in Arcana packs.
Okay, I mean, I could be completely wrong here.
And this is why the Cartomancer, you don't need to hit every time. You just needed to hit 1 time.
Yeah, no, I do really like the Cartomancer line from Fur here. I think I'm probably not taking this line if it's not holographic, but the fact that it's holographic means that it has a very real possibility to out-tempo the obelisk in the first PvP, which I think is very important if you're going to take this Cartomancer, that you have more time to actually utilize the deck fixing it provides to get yourself in an advantageous late game position. And here's a flush house
for Fur.
No
missing
lucky
on
hit.
The lucky hit, but we do have those 2 glass cards. No breaks.
Yep. No breaks is massive for Fur.
Yeah, and this is after they had already played the 1 glass card and then broke it previously.
All right, 22,000 to 50,000. Just some.
That's a flush for Sizaak there, missing the flush house draw.
Yeah, we played a straight flush earlier in the blind with a glass card at the end, which I thought was a little bit interesting. Here's a strength coming up, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, I think picking up this Ride the Bus was a pretty big mistake.
Desperate, perhaps. You know, if you had a Cartomancer give you a couple of molt cards in the first round, then you wouldn't need the bus. You just play a couple of molt cards.
I just think it was like too big of a commitment towards a plus molt X molt chip seed when there's, I mean, I don't know, there's a lot of time left in this game. There's not, it's hard to say what could possibly come, and we know that there was a sock, so I think the real mistake was just skipping the sock. Erosion showing up could be some decent base molt potentially. Gonna take the Gross Michael.
Erosion, Michelle. Is it?
It could be. I mean, you find a Hangman. Could be. It could be a little bit.
If you find a Hangman, it becomes a Jolly Joker. It becomes a +8.
Wait, is it not plus? It's +4 right now. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2 per. I mean, you could find an Emily. I mean, it was the best option in the Buffoon pack, right? Just take it.
You could find a Hangman, you could find a death card and then do something way more relevant than an Erosion. It's possible.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I'm just speaking words, man.
what did you call it? Steel Man or whatever?
Steel Manning? Steel Manning? Well,
yeah,
I mean, like,
do the what is it, devil's advocate, represent like, other ideas or other options.
yeah.
Sometimes it's clear, man.
Well, I mean, I said, like, could be.
All right, Fur here, interesting decision. We had that strength card. We could turn these 10s into jacks, and with the Cartomancer, we could find a Justice. Even without the Cartomancer, we could find a Justice in the shop. Deciding here, okay, do we want to use the death to copy the 5 and just have an extra glass card, or do we want to make more hearts and then make it easier for us to get the higher quality hand? Is the flush house advantage going to be worth more than having, let's say, just a regular full house with 2 glass cards? For deciding, okay, we're going to make the glass cards and then use some other suit changing tarot cards to convert the glass cards later.
And here's an eternal Chad for Fur, and that is phenomenal news if you're a Fur fan here. It's exactly what they needed.
There's a fool from the Cartomancer. And that's going to be Justice for Fur. Choosing to make an extra glass card. Or sorry, that's going to be Death for Fur, right? Because we just used Death on the 5.
I believe so. And Sizaak seeing this Chad immediately putting his hand in his face. He knows. I wonder if he's even going to take the Chad here. It might be a loyalty card angle for Sizaak. I mean, at this point, it is technically the same amount of X-Molt. Loyalty card is a little bit more difficult to make work with the Obelisk, but yeah, that's what we're going to go with.
No way.
No, I mean, it's going to lose out to the Chad in terms of the Chad's just a better Joker in terms of, it scores this slightly better because it gives you a little bit of chips along with the 4x Molt. And then also value potentially with lucky cards or a gold seal could show up. But I mean, you look at the Chad for Sizaak and it's just clearly not a part of the build unless a photograph would decide to show up. Even then, it's still a abandoned deck, so you need to put some work in to get there, and you don't have this Eternal Cartomancer like Fur does.
I mean, you listed all of these different things that could happen, and some of those are common. And so, even if you don't have anything now, you could very easily get something immediately. I think you don't always take photograph, you always take Chad.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Chad there, but I'm more so like trying to understand what the decision Sizaak is making here and why they might make that decision. Perishable foil dice. I mean, it's foil.
Even if the loyalty card keeps you alive in the next round, like that's the decider. It keeps me alive for one more round. It's perishable, and then I'm not going to be able to survive forever. And then if I get to go longer, then the Chad advantage is going to grow even further out of my control.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Chad and Glass, Fur is probably never losing to another blind. I mean, there's just been so much justice in this siege, so many Glass cards, which has been quite fortunate for them. But maybe Sizaak thinks that they only need to survive like the next few PvPs. If they build up enough of a life lead, then maybe Fur on a retrigger build is going to start dying to them.
Fur did not find either of the red seals here to copy with Death.
Yeah, still living the blinds
so
here.
Once again, we're going to be holding these tarot cards. We're going to be blocking the Cartomancer. Despite the Cartomancer being blocked, it has already done what it needed to do. It gave us the Fool for the Death card. $17 on the fortune teller for Fur.
Sizaak kind of running into a bit of a problem here where they have so much consistent scoring with the Erosion, the Ride the Bus, and the Obelisk, and now the foil Oops All Sixes as well, that they can't actually scale their Obelisk as many times as they would like to. They don't want to play high cards, which would be their least scoring hand, because you need them in the future, potentially, for the obelisk. And then also every single higher value hand one-shots. I think the high card probably one-shots too.
I mean, obelisk already ×6. How much more scaling you want? The difference between ×6 and ×8, that's a lot of hands, but that's only like 30% more, right?
Yep.
So you know, once it's big enough, then that's it. Then don't sacrifice your ability to generate value to like lean even further into this obelisk dead.
I think maybe, yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure what would be a bigger deal then, but like there's also the ride the bus. I guess it's really not
everything
that much
is a bigger deal than the obelisk. Like once you're already at ×7, okay, it's done its thing. Every game from there is so small relative to what else you could be doing.
I think ride the bus is a little bit smaller, but yeah, pretty much everything's smaller. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what's much bigger is Fur getting more glass.
Yeah. Also, if you want to do the bus, you just put obelisk on the left, and then you score 0 points with every.
That's
hand.
True. Yeah, so maybe Sizaak either not realizing that or deciding that more hands
deciding not
for
to.
more money. Yeah, deciding more money is more impactful.
$20 for Fur. Very exciting. We got the dice. We got the Chad.
This could be a painful hand for Fur here. I wonder if they'll decide to sell out of the Oops All Sixes before they play their glass. The one way I could see Fur losing this is, not this PvP, but the game in general, is if all these glass cards break, and that is a possibility when you're running the Oops, but we are going to sell out of it.
We are selling out. It's going to be a flush house for Fur. Chat is saying big sad for Sizaak. Sizaak chose to not take the Cartomancer.
No, I think the Cartomancer was a great line. As an
this
obelisk
was
enjoyer,
a calculation, and this is what Sizaak chose this.
Yeah, I mean, as the biggest obelisk enjoyer, as far as I'm aware, I think the Cartomancer was a great line. I don't think
if it's not Cartomancer, you take the obelisk, but because it's Cartomancer, you can't take the obelisk.
Well, I just think it's because it was holographic, personally. I do see the value that Cartomancer has provided this game. It's provided phenomenal value. But I think in my opinion, the bigger deal was the fact that you could just one-shot the blind, so it was also not just generating a tarot card every round, which of course is super valuable, but the fact that it was one-shotting the blinds, meaning we're getting like $3 extra every round. So serving as a pseudo econ joker in that sense as well, providing a lot. Sure, of value.
Yeah. I guess Sizaak also went with this somewhat aggressive line of playing all their hands to grow the obelisk.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not that works is going to depend on what kind of seed you're on, what kind of value is available. If it's a dry seed, then that's the thing that you want to be doing.
Yep.
There's nothing to spend your money on.
And that's why I really think we should have picked up this sock, because we could be talking about a completely different game right now if we had Chad, we had sock, and we maybe strength into some face cards, got some glass online, and then suddenly, well, now we have a 7x Joker that your opponent doesn't have. So I think maybe the ride the bus Eternal and skipping the sock was a little bit too far into the obelisk here. Alright, Rental Cola, that's a completely free tag. It only forces you to get rid of one of your jokers. Sizaak considering, do I want this erosion? It is 12 molt right now. That the bus is likely going to be... Is it likely going to be bigger? I mean, every hand you play, but we're only playing, I believe, one hand each round right now to line up this loyalty card. Got 2 flush house levels, and that is
Chrome Queen for fur.
Oh my gosh, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse for Sizaak here.
We need the suit changer to get the flush house with the queen. We need you know, potentially a couple death cards.
I mean, this Cartomancer really been putting in the work all game here.
Star, that's plus $1, man. That's huge. Every round plus $1.
Plus $2 here because we get the interest cap.
Oh, that's huge.
Look at that Cartomancer value.
That value, man.
Yeah. Man, I just really need there to be an obelisk seed where there isn't just immediately a bunch of glass cards. Oh, it'll happen eventually. Yeah, and again, I really don't think that this obelisk was the problem. I think that I mean, it resulted in the first life for Sizaak, and it's mainly just committing too hard to it. It's just saying that like skipping the sock. Skipping the sock was the big problem. Skipping the sock.
You gotta read the room. You gotta read the seed, right?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
And I think that if they didn't make those decisions, they would be in a much nicer position here. But yeah, it's gonna be really awkward. Fur has 5 glass cards in the deck. Sizaak is at 1 life.
Okay. Obviously, Fur found the red seal in a standard pack that Sizaak didn't open. Sizaak had the money, didn't open it. Okay. Even without the red seal, Fur is flush with glass.
Yep. 100%. I mean, this seed has had.
We've got, you know, Chad plus some lucky cards, a little bit of money from the Chad that way. And that's why, you know, Chad, you never know what jokers you're going to get. You never know if you're actually going to get that common photograph. But you could get lucky cards. That's not that hard to do.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason that Chad was nerfed in multiplayer, and that was the first and like main change that we made, and it stayed like that for a very, very, very long time. Just because it is incredibly powerful Joker, and I think the main strength comes from its versatility, right? Just the ability to work with so many Jokers. Yeah, it's probably not going to be your scoring build with this obelisk. With maybe you're not planning to play heavily into the Justice, but even right now with Flush House 22 base mole, a chat on some glass would be putting in way more work than the Ride the Bus or Erosion. So
Sure. Hey, look, Erosion at 12 now. I just looked. You know, I wasn't keeping track. We got the Hangman. Now we can get Erosion up to plus 20.
Well, look at that. It's going to be bigger than Ride the Bus.
On the first side came from a purple seal.
It's going to be bigger than the Ride the Bus. Look at that. Still not going to be super relevant. The holographic on the obelisk going to again make this not abstract Erosion less than 2x still, unfortunately. I mean, I guess the base mult of the Flush House is also still doing that. Yeah, I mean, it makes me wonder, like, on a different deck, if things would have worked out better. I think arguably Obelisk is easier to pull off on Abandoned, but also...
This is the best deck for it.
Yeah. It's, I mean, I think Painted's a little bit better, but yes, Abandoned
that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
But Abandoned is definitely top 2, for sure.
Yeah.
I did not even realize this, but that's really funny. Those are my two favorite decks to play on high stakes. I swear it's not. This is Obelisk is not the reason those are my two favorite decks to play on gold stake. I swear to God. But that is really funny though.
We're spending a lot of time in this blind just trying to figure out how to score enough.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I mean, if Sizaak just buys a little bit more time when winning an earlier PvP, or even not dying to the blind, right? I mean, if they didn't die to that boss blind being at 2 lives, Fur's entire score is dependent on these glass cards, and they're gonna lose a life because they only played 1 red seal glass. I mean, that is the big blind right before the PvP, and they will be going all in here. It's going to be a very tall task for Sizaak to compete. But,
I missed it. Did they discard 1 glass, or did they only draw 1?
I'm not sure. It would be kind of hard to not draw more than 1 on Abandoned when we've used some hangman, and we have 5 hands, 2 discards, but it's definitely possible.
It's possible. On 42, I mean, it happened in a previous round, not drawing the glass cards. It didn't matter in a previous round, but it did happen. Fur keeps re-rolling before opening the Arcana packs, and sometimes you want to do that. You want to pick up some tarot cards before opening the Arcana packs, but if you find Hermit, you get mega punished.
Well, we actually had the perfect sequencing here, hermiting onto exactly $20. Seeing double doesn't look like the play here, especially Eternal. And there's a Bloodstone.
Bloodstone for Fur.
Yeah,
very consistently building into hearts all 3 games, gets the payoff.
Yeah, that's the reason why you do it. I mean, definitely, if you could pick a suit, you pick hearts, but I think a lot of times the better strategy is just build into what the seed gives you. If you get a lot of moon cards, well, we're going clubs. If we get a sigil into diamonds, I guess maybe we're going to go diamonds, but just because Idol is lurking around every corner, you want to have the best possible deck fix as the same rarity of Bloodstone, but if you can pick, which we were able to in this situation, definitely go hearts.
Yeah, you know, before we said already, it's not necessary for all of your cards in the deck to be exactly the same suit. You can have it as long as you have identical cards. So you want all of your jacks to be the same suit. You want all of your kings to be the same suit, but not necessarily the same as your jacks. So you can have jacks of clubs. You can have kings of diamonds in your deck if you want to. And so for those suit changers, if you hit the 3 cards at a time of the same rank, then now you're idol ready with very little effort.
Yeah, I think the main reason it's really convenient to have a bunch of all your cards on the same suit is because it makes strength stronger, right? I mean, if you if you have only maybe 1 7 of clubs, well, or like even like 3 7 of clubs, and you have a couple 8 of clubs, there you go. Their strength the strength payoff is going to be much stronger. But yeah, absolutely, when you have idol, you should just be sprinkling your suit changers throughout your deck, no matter what they are. But if you have the choice, probably go towards 1 suit. But yeah, it's going to be the final PvP here. Fur is going to try to draw as much glass as possible. Playing flush houses or flush 5s, not quite sure. I think flush 5s.
Loyalty card active, it is not the final hand, but Sizaak is able to set up a flush house here. Level 3 flush house, active loyalty card. We have Obelisk ready to go, just waiting for Fur to outscore.
Yep. And man, I mean, I highly doubt Sizaak was going to win this even if Fur didn't find this Bloodstone, but maybe they would have won with a worse draw. Look at that. That is a full death for their red seal glass. My goodness. That is brutal to see.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
that is GG right there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, I gotta talk to the commissioner about these obelisk seeds, man. Every time they always have a bunch of red seal glass in them. What's going on? Where's my everything's perishable rental? Where's all those seeds at? And yeah, flush 5 red seal glass.
Oh,
like this is not a gold stake hand, man. It's only anti, like, I mean, there's been 2 deaths to blinds. Okay. There's only been like 2 deaths to blinds.
Here we get to see the difference. Okay, what one Cartomancer can do, right? But there could have easily have been other options available too to compete, right? Like if it's Cartomancer versus no Cartomancer, Cartomancer is gonna win. But if it's like Cartomancer plus hallucination versus hallucination plus 8-ball or something like that, then it's a lot closer or whatever. So like Sizaak here played the obelisk as well as possible, as well as they could have. But what they really needed was they needed some other value generation available in the seed. So, if you're missing out on Cartomancer, that's fine if you can find something else. But then this particular seed just ended up being dry. That's it.
Yeah. And dry in all the ways that were specifically bad for Sizaak and really good for her.
Yeah. Getting ×8 on the obelisk is incredible. Well played by Sizaak.
Yep.
On a different seed, this works, but not on this one.
Yeah, I think this was a good. I think that the Cartomancer play was genuinely very good. I think that has probably higher odds of winning than Obelisk. I think just because it's holographic, but like it is unfortunate how this seed ended up. So it didn't really feel like much of a competition, despite the Obelisk play having quite some credibility behind the decision, in my personal opinion, as well. And again, I do think that there was a world this Obelisk wins if we get a value generator like maybe a non-eternal Cartomancer that shows up later, or something else. Even money, like if a rebate shows up later.
Well, we had the Golden Joker for a while, and it was working.
It was perishable. Yeah, it was perishable, right? Like even some econ generation that'll allow you to roll deeper in the shop, open more packs maybe, and get glass face cards with the Sock and Chad that we could have picked up. And then now we're just up an Obelisk, which is a lot of X-Mol, unless you find the full retrigger Exodia, which is unlikely on Gold Stake. That Obelisk is just going to be one of the best possible Jokers you could have in that slot. But yeah, overall, well played from both players, and congratulations to Fur for making sure that 3-0 sweep did not happen, and congrats to Sizaak getting another win. I mean, both these players are 2-2 now, I think. But I believe there is more Major League Balatro happening right now. It's Nandre versus Raffle.
All day, every day. That's all the time I have for, so I gotta roll out of here.
All right. Well, thanks for casting, Doc. It was a pleasure.
All right, good hang. Take care, man.
Yeah, see ya. All right, chat. It's just me left. What games are happening right now? There's like multiple happening right now, right? Oh, wait. Sizaak wants to hop in the booth. Wait. Hello? Wait, Sizaak wants to hop in the booth and talk about this Obelisk play. Thanks for excellent casting. You are welcome. It was a lot of fun. Hey, hold on. We're gonna get Sizaak's opinion on the casting real quick. Not the casting, sorry, the Obelisk. Even Dot casting is a great combo. Bro, it's really nice. Just like whenever I cast with Doc or Bean or just like any of these casters that are like really smart and know like what they're doing, right? Like they're so competent, or like Sizaak as well, is like it's such a pleasure, because I mean, like sometimes I'll say things that they'll be like, what are you talking about? And then we gotta have a conversation about it, you know what I mean? Instead of maybe some other people might just let whatever I say slide because I'm good at the game. Yo, what's up, Sizaak? Welcome in.
Hi. So, was the obelisk take wrong, or did I just get unlucky with how much glass showed up?
Okay, so I think both. I don't know. I think the obelisk could have won that game for sure. I think Eternal Cartomancer, if it's just Eternal Cartomancer, I take obelisk. But because it was holographic, there's a real world where the obelisk doesn't win the first PvP, and I think it really needs to win the first PvP. And you did end up winning the first PvP.
It did, but
yeah, it was very close. The second thing, I think you played too into it with the Eternal Ride the Bus. You should have picked up the sock and Chad, and then tried to play for glass face cards.
that's fair. I was desperate for score because all I had was Jimbo and obelisk when the bus showed up.
You couldn't rely on like drawing flush houses. I thought you could do that. I guess
I think that early, not
you couldn't.
consistently.
I see. Okay, so it was a desperation thing. I mean, I wasn't 100% locked in on what the scoring was. I mean, but yeah, I feel like you lost too much because you still could have been competitive with the glass if you took the Chad sock, but also you were very, very unlucky that not only was the seed was dry in all the ways that were bad for you, you know what I mean? Like there was no like blackboards or anything. There wasn't like any I think the most important thing is there was no value generation. Like where was your like rebate or anything like that? And because of that, the Cartomancer ended up being the best tarot generation for the entire game, and he got a lot of deaths out of that, and a lot of and also the econ loss that you were getting from playing every single hand early resulted in them finding a red seal in a pack, which was a little bit unfortunate. I think either or could have won there, but I think I like the Eternal Cartomancer line a little bit better because of the holographic. That's the conclusion I came to. But also you got unlucky for sure.
Yeah, I feel like part of it was like, especially I had won the 2 games. We had a big conversation about obelisk after the podcast. So I was like, okay, Veg is casting this game. I gotta do a good obelisk game. And I think I got blinded by that.
I was excited for it. I did feel you got a little bit blinded by the obelisk, you know, because I was like, you know, Sizaak knows it's a good Joker. Like you're aware it's a good Joker. You're not one of the obelisk haters that is blind to the light of obelisk. Okay, you're aware that it's good, but I just felt like you played into it maybe a bit too heavily. Like also dying to that blind was. I understand why you did it. I feel like that was a little bit. I feel like that was like a little bit too much. I don't know.
Yeah, but it was like, I mean, I feel like I can't skip Overstock, you know. And obelisk, if it does well, it's probably gonna like win in the first 4 or 5 PvPs anyways. So, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh well. Anyway, well played. Congrats on the win.
Thanks. Thank you.
I mean, you really needed that win. If you didn't, then you might actually not be in playoff contention. So very, very, very important that you won today. Very, very important that you won today.
Yeah, I think I'm probably. I mean, with the big top 6, I was probably fine. But I mean, yeah, it's
but yeah,
good,
if you
because I think I've played against a lot of the best players so far.
Yeah. You played Doc already. You played Bear, and now you played Fur.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those people are pretty high up. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, GG's, congrats. I am going to send all the MLB viewers over to another Major League Balatro game. What games are happening right now? Looks like it's HC Justin versus Halion, and also Nondrate Raffle.
Okay.
Who is casting what? Hold on.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Looks like Zeno.
I'll let you figure it out. I'll send them with you.
All right. Well, I'm rating like literally right now. So.
Okay. Send it.
Just send it to Zeno. Send it to Zeno.
Send it to Zeno. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll go wrap up stream. Thanks for casting.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later.
Wait, wait, Nandre's doing a Raffle impression. Wait, this is goated as fuck. Wait, this is fucking hilarious. Holy shit. Oh my god.